Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Dispatch. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment in the comment section. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate all the love and support you guys give us. We cannot do it without you. Also, this episode is brought to you by Murphy Carter Law. If you're looking for a law firm, look no further than Murphy Carter Law. This episode, it's different, you guys. So we did our first live remote podcast episode for the 2026 Project Fire Buddies Gala. We were there on the setup day, which was the day before the gala, and we had a blast. My brother and I went there. We interviewed a bunch of great people from Project Fire Buddies. You will see here shortly, but there's quite a few times I looked over my brother. His face was bright red. He was definitely getting emotional. It was something to see, you know, the stories that these individuals told, the lives that they touch, the difference that they make in this world. We need so much more of this. And in such a chaotic world that we live in nowadays, they're definitely a light in a dark room. So we were also invited to the gala, and wow, it was definitely an event to be at, you guys. If you want to check it out next year, it's right around the first of the year. Not the first of the year. I apologize. It's right around February. It's amazing. I believe they had like over 1,200, 1,300 people there, and they had the buddies there. You know, all these little kids running around, man, and just the look on their faces. They're all dressed up. Their families are dressed up. It was definitely a great event. And it was definitely an honor to be there. We're definitely going back next year. Carrie and I were like, we cannot not go because it was so much fun. My wife had a great time. His wife had a great time. I believe my cousin was there, his wife, my brother, his wife. It was phenomenal. Project Fire Buddies know how to put together a gala. It was badass. But without further ado, you guys, we're going to jump right into the episode. You're going to hear multiple interviews from different individuals. Kurt's going to be on there, his wife, and a special guest at the end. But without further ado, you guys.
So you were a firefighter with Payless. How long have you been there, man?
I've been there for I started my 13 year on January 1st.
13th year?
Yeah, I'm getting old, man.
Dude, it goes by fast, though, man.
It does. It's been a fun ride, but 13 years and I've done a lot of things, but this is obviously the most my favorite thing I've done in the fire service.
Oh, man. I talk about this all the time. Like, we have a FOP. It's not like our union, but in Romeoville, we started our own FOP, the Lodge.
Yeah.
And we did all this stuff, like Cops and Kids, where we bring these kids to, like, Walmart, and we buy them gifts. And the look on their fucking face, man, is just, it's priceless. It really is, because you're giving these kids something that they don't have during a time where everyone should have something.
Of course.
And, when these kids are like, hey, can I get something for my mom? Absolutely. We get something for your mom. Absolutely. So when did you join Project Fire Buddies?
It was right around 2019, 2020-ish.
Okay.
God, I should know this stuff better, but it's been, it seems like it was yesterday, man. I remember my first phone call with Jeff, who was part of the second chapter to join up.
Okay.
I used to do a lot of other charitable work for other organizations, and he's like, hey, we're doing this thing. It's going to be big. You want in? And I was like, yeah, sure, what's up? And then he told me about Project Fire Buddies, and now here we are 5-6 years later.
Yeah.
14 different states, we've had over 900, I think, chapter members total.
Yeah.
Dude, it's insane.
Dude, it's such a good organization. And I talk about Project Fire Buddies all the time. I had Kurt on the podcast, and when he was just talking about it, you can just see the passion in his voice and in his face that he truly cares about this organization and making it what it is today. And we couldn't have done it without all of you guys. And I've seen you guys around. I think you guys have a buddy in my neighborhood in New Lenox.
Okay.
And that little kid, every time he sees you guys, just his face lights up, man. And that's how Kurt says, like, how do you buy hope? Like, how do you get more good days? And you guys are doing it day in and day out. What's your favorite part about being with Project Fire Buddies?
I think, like, one, what is the purest good that you could do in this world is to help children who didn't ask for the problems that they've gotten given to them. Now
100%.
I'm not putting down any other organizations. I'm not putting down any other people's issues or anything like that. But with these kids, and when we were kids, the worst thing we were worried about is, if our video games were taken away or whatever the case was, right? And these kids didn't ask for the battles that they're having, and battles that some adults don't want to take on.
Right.
And now we're able to do good for them.
Right.
That's the purest good that you could do. They don't ask for anything in return.
Yeah.
They didn't ask for their problems. They aren't. There's no ulterior motives for them. I mean, these are kids that are just battling, for the lack of a better term, shit.
Yeah, man.
And we're there to do the purest good for them. I mean, how do you beat that? And how can you turn away from that, right?
You can't.
So that's been my favorite part about doing this, is that I know that every ounce of work that I put in, and you work for an organization, I work for organizations, outside of full time, and sometimes you don't feel like the work is good, right? Or the work is what you signed up for.
Meaningful, yeah.
Exactly. You're trying to find purpose. Here, there's no question about it. Every day I go into that office, every day that I'm doing something for Fire Buddies, I know that 100% of my efforts going in is hopefully paying dividends for these children, and it's easy to go to work then.
Right.
I love it.
And too, you know who Dave Engel is?
Yes.
So we had him on the podcast too, and he talked about his son who was part of the organization. I think he still is.
Yeah,
part
Nick.
Of it. Yes.
Yep.
Great dude. And he told his story about how he had a buddy, and every time he saw him, he would just pep up.
Yep.
And how they'd be like, all right, you need to come see him. This could be his last day. And every time he'd come, and he'd perk right up, dude.
Yep.
And he'd be there another day.
Yep.
And you guys truly are like giving this kid hope and giving him more days that he could spend with his family.
Yep.
It's brother, I couldn't thank you guys enough for what you do.
Without people like you, helping us get the word out there, I can't thank you enough, man. It's such a cool thing, and then we have this gala going on, right? And you see all these people come together for the same cause, which was grown from a small little chapter in Oak Forest, now, like I said, to all over the country. But you have people coming from all over the country, and some from other parts of the world, to come for this cause here in Tinley Park, and it's the coolest thing to be a part of.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah, man. What would be like the hardest part for you?
The hardest part with it is dealing with some of the emotions that come with some of these children that we're seeing. Yes, we are there to give them more good days. Yes, we are there on their good days, celebrating those big milestones. But there's also those times where we have to, deal with it, the feelings, the emotions of a child passing away.
Right.
One of our fire buddies having a rough spell, or going through, my two fire buddies in my town. We have 4 total, but 2 of them regularly have to spend copious amounts of times in the hospital, and then they get out, after being there for 3 months, and you check in with them a week later, and you're like, hey, how's everything going? Are they happy to be home? And they're like, well, unfortunately, we had another setback. We had to go back. Their numbers are down again. It's just like these families don't catch a break, and you almost feel helpless sometimes. We're there to give them more good days for sure, but I wish I could give them the cure to cancer, or the cure for their rejection of their heart transplant or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, I wish I could do more. I think that's the biggest struggle, right? Is that we are doing more than nothing, but I wish I could do even more.
Yeah. 100%, man. And just like you said, I wish we could come up with that cure. And because if that's the case, like that's where what we'd be doing, right? Raising the money for the cure for these kids.
For sure.
Man, that's tough. And the families too, like they didn't ask for this, you know, and to see their child, like, man, brother, like I know my mom said this before, like I was in a shooting, and you should never have to see your child in that type of position. And then you should never outlive your child. So it's like, I have a son, like I couldn't even imagine having my son being terminally ill, but like you guys also bring another angle to it for them, right? Because like you guys help ease some of their pain because you're bringing their kid joy. So that's awesome, man.
And that's where I think Kurt hit the nail on the head, is that you have multiple organizations out there doing great work, raising money to find cures or find treatments to help these kids. But it's very on the business end of it, right? It's very much on the, we want to get this kid cured. We want to get them helped. And that again, most important work possible is finding them a cure. But unfortunately, they don't hit that positivity mark. They don't hit that, giving them that sense of being a child, or the joy, or the memories. Like, but they have to put those funds towards finding the cure, and that's where we can step in and we can help. We found a niche that needed to be filled, and Kurt hit it on the head, man.
Yeah, because and too, it's like a lot of these kids, like a lot of these families, they pay out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to see them go through that. I remember Kurt, he came on the podcast and he was talking about it. He's like, we bought this kid like an Xbox or a PlayStation, and we went in and they sold their TV, they sold their couch. I mean, how is that for you guys? I mean, that has to be like heartbreaking, because he's like, we were like, hey, let's go to the furniture store. We're going to the furniture store. We're going to give him a TV.
Yeah.
So how is that for you guys to see that type of, because like, are you a father yourself?
I am. Yes, I have 2 children. One of them had a medical emergency when they were real young, and it was very scary. You know,
Extremely.
I had to do, you know, mouth to mouth with my own daughter. It was a very traumatic thing.
Were you a firefighter at the time?
I was,
okay.
Yes. And it was something that was out of our control. She had a seizure. It was something more than just a typical seizure, though. It wasn't like a febrile seizure.
Right.
Without getting into my stuff, I understand the amount of stress I felt in those moments and the moments following that, but time has gone past, and I get to escape from that where these families don't. So when we can show up to their house and a kid wants a PlayStation, but like you said, maybe they don't have a couch there, or they don't have, the families can't afford that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They can't. We have a family in a town that had to have a wheelchair ramp for their child, but insurance wasn't going to cover it.
Right.
And it's like, so they have to spend their days picking them up, bringing them up inside, bringing them down. Nobody's going to cover the cost. They don't have the money for it. To be able to provide those things for the family or the siblings, right? The siblings, I think, is sometimes very heartbreaking for us too.
Yeah.
One of my families in town has 2 fire buddies. Both have the same disease. One of them has it a little worse off, but the daughter in the middle doesn't have anything wrong with her, but she feels that because the other 2 have to take their medications in the morning, they have to give her certain vitamins in the morning to make her feel like she's getting her medications too.
Right. Because they don't understand.
Exactly, they don't. And these siblings are going through so much too. So to be able to, again, Kurt hit it on the head, to be able to help these kids, help the parents financially, and then now we're helping the entire family.
Yeah.
It's multifaceted. You're helping guys on our department with mental health issues, you know, where they're either feeling burnout or they have depression or something like that, and they go on one of these visits. I mean, we're helping the children, we're helping the families, we're helping the parents, we're helping the firefighters that are going to do this.
Right.
We're helping the community come together, especially when the world feels broken sometimes.
Brother,
to bring the community together.
Turn on the news, you'll find out.
How about it?
Dude, you're kidding.
So I mean, this organization is filling so many holes and fixing the world right now that it's truly an honor just to be a part of it. You know.
Oh, beyond.
Be a part of a cog in that wheel of making this organization
100%
fix the world. You know, one small visit at a time.
Because I know Kurt was saying like there's fire departments out in like Canada that want to get involved, and in Mexico or even Germany. Like, how does that feel that you have Project Fire Buddies possibly going like worldwide?
It's scary. It's overwhelming.
Right.
It's exciting. I think more than anything. You know, I'm just a fireman with a high school education, man. So like, being my current title is Chief Personnel Officer. I handle all of the personnel, HR, operational stuff
with Project Fire Buddies.
With Fire Buddies, yeah. So I handle a lot of it's very business side of stuff.
Right.
It's getting the firemen to do their jobs, helping the chapters operate. It's,
right.
So you know, to me, it's scary and overwhelming because that puts me in charge of. You know, like I said, we have 165 active chapters right now, which, you know, if they all have 3 board members and multiple other volunteers and stuff, you're talking about 900 people that I got to try and figure out how to manage, how to operate with. So it's scary. It's overwhelming. Again, coming from a very small background, blue collar family with high school education and stuff. It's such a cool challenge. You know, in the fire service, I've spent a lot of time doing different classes and doing different things to continuously challenge myself in my career. And now this is just a completely different challenge. I mean, I don't know anything about computers, but I had to help build an app for our operation. And it's like,
how was that, bro? How was learning how to build an app?
I mean, I tried to do it with crayons and napkins, you know, like that's just my style. That's about all I know.
Bro,
but now I'm whipping through keyboards and showing, you know, Google Drives and all that kind of stuff. But it's if you take the mentality of a fireman, all right, and they learn their job, they perfect it by trials and tribulations and trial and error and all that kind of stuff. And you take that same mentality and you apply it to any one of these facets of this organization, you can learn it, you can master it, you can actually become just grow as a human being. So again, like I said, this organization is multifaceted in the fact that our own employees are growing as human beings too, which is,
Brother.
again, how do you beat that?
You can't, man. And it's like, honestly and truthfully, when I used to do this stuff, it was more of a selfish thing to me, because it's like I got so much out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure it's probably the same for you guys. Like you get a lot out of it. So you're feeding your soul is what you're doing,
Yep.
and it brings joy to your life in a different aspect. Yes, the children are, they're sick and all that stuff, but you're giving them hope, and that's like the most important part.
Yeah, you can't recreate that. You can't put a tangible amount of money on that. You can't.
No.
Finding purpose in life in general. Getting into the whole Christian Catholic side of it.
Yeah.
Finding purpose in life for people is what I think a lot of the society struggles with right now.
Beyond, man. Because what do? We're scrolling on our phones. We go on social media, and you're getting this like cheap dopamine dump all the time.
Yep.
And this right here, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Screw social media, screw Instagram, so screw the news and all the, like you said, all the bullshit that's going on now. This is where it's at.
It's the sustainable thing. You use the perfect analogy, right? It's that quick high, that quick dopamine dump that people are trying to fill their soul with, but it's such a short-lived thing.
Yeah.
You do something like this, you volunteer, you help a kid, you become part of the organization, you volunteer, whatever it is. It's a very sustainable, very fulfilling, and it stays. It doesn't just go away. It doesn't. The quick high's over, and it's like now you're on a downward spiral. No, this stays. This
stays.
Fills the soul, and it keeps you moving. I mean, again, how do you? It's the purest good you can do. How can you put a price on that?
Right, and because this job, if you let it, will consume you. Like being a firefighter, being a first responder, like this will consume you. So like this is kind of like the little bit of like that light in that dark room,
Yep.
like, and if you let all this stuff get like a hold of you, it will consume you. But like this is like. It's in the Bible, right? Whatever. It's like, like there's like that, even the darkest room, there's light.
Exactly.
Even the darkest room, there's light, brother.
Somebody has to be that
Yes.
light. And that's what we're trying to do, because again, you're dealing with the mental health, you're dealing with all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, it's trying to fulfill that purpose. And to me, it doesn't get better than Project Fire Buddies.
Brother.
It's been awesome.
It doesn't. So how does your fire department, do you have like a bunch of guys like all wanting to kind of jump in and help out?
That's the struggle, right? Is that
Yeah.
you do get some guys that really want to be a part of it, and then you have some guys that it's another chore that they have
Chore
to do
for
type
them.
deal. So
Right.
I think that's the biggest struggle on the personnel side has been how do we get guys passionate about it?
Right.
How do you? Because unfortunately, again, we live in a world where some people want to show up, they want to bring the paycheck and go home.
Right.
So to me, that's been difficult. We have quite a few guys that are passionate about it that help me out with it quite a bit, and then you have some guys that have no interest in doing it, and I think that's just society, man. You can't. I always say you can't save all the whales, right? Like, you have to try to do the best you can. But we have a good amount of guys that help out regularly, or if they are present for it, they do a good job with it. Two of my guys in my department really help me out quite a bit,
man.
and that's the cool part.
Yeah,
Is that they get bought into, their families get bought in. We do a big Santa parade delivery in December, and the families are showing up. The kids, the kids love it. You know, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming for the families, so we have to try to tweak a couple things to help them out. But ultimately, I think we bring the mayor, we bring the aldermen, we bring all them in, and they're returning every year wanting to do it again.
Yeah.
So again, you're finding places for people to fill their soul a little bit, but on top of it, you're creating these memories for these kids that
Beyond.
I show up and they come up and hug me like I'm their, like a family member, an uncle, or
Right. How's that feel for you, man?
That's cool. That part I think is one of the coolest parts about it, is that I show up with a big present and they don't even care about the present. They show up because they're happy to see me. And like I think that's the goal of Fire Buddies too, is that Kurt always says, yes, it's about the gifts, it's about the deliveries, but it's about the relationships you're creating with these families.
Right, because you're just dropping the gifts off.
Yep. No, we're hanging out.
You guys are hanging out, like playing Xbox and
Yep.
whatever they want to do. So like how is like those interactions for you personally?
Personally, that I have one that stands out from this year. It's something we never did before. I didn't show up with a gift. I showed up with a cookie cake, I think, and balloons. But I showed
cookie cakes are awesome.
How about it, right? I mean, every once in a while, awesome, I can have a whole one by myself.
Oh, dude, me too.
But I showed up to her school. And I talked to the school beforehand.
Yeah.
It was her birthday. She had spent a lot of time in the hospital prior to, and showed up just to the school with cookie cake and balloons. And she tells me that was her favorite visit of all the ones. I brought her gifts about all the. She doesn't care about that stuff. And I showed up. I put my bunker pants on, and the hero shit, people talk about. But all of her friends saw me sitting at the lunch table with her. I went out and played recess tag or whatever it was with her. But it was a cool experience because she didn't care about the gift. She was just happy to see me.
See you.
And when you call 911, sometimes the people aren't so nice to you. So,
brother, I know. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, bet you do. But it's you show up and they hug you. You're like an uncle to them.
Right.
That relationship. Even if I retire from a department, I'm still going to be friends with them. That's the coolest part. That's the coolest part, is that I didn't just build a charity where I give stuff away. I built a relationship with these families.
Beyond. And you impacted their lives. And probably more so, they impacted your lives.
100%. 100%. I can give you an example of that real quick, too.
Let's hear it.
When my daughter went through her medical issue, I had my Fire Buddy family, and she told me about a story where the nurse was a recording artist. Minor, but she would record songs, and she took the heartbeat of the daughter before her transplant as the background beat to the song of "You Are My Sunshine."
Oh God!
Well, when I had my daughter with the medical emergency before that, the only song I could sing to her to get her to go to bed at night was "You Are My Sunshine." So when I talked to her and I was struggling with the feelings of, putting her to bed at night, not worrying if she was going to have another seizure or whatever the case was. She told me about that story, and I'm like, there's no way that's a coincidence.
Not a chance. I don't believe in coincidences, brother.
Exactly. There's no way that's a coincidence that was the song that she had that soothed her, and it helped soothe me too. And she shared that with me. She helped me through my problem, even though they're the family that's dealing with the biggest shit,
Brother.
So that was it. I can't say how much it's helped me.
Oh, so you said "You Are My Sunshine," right? That was so. Another crazy thing is my mom had gotten me a stuffed animal, or my parents had gotten me a stuffed animal when I was a kid. It was a clown, and in the foot was a music box, and it was "You Are My Sunshine."
You can't tell me that's a coincidence,
brother,
right?
It's not.
Like it's God's way of bringing us all together.
Beyond,
and again, in a world that sometimes feels so broken.
Right, and we could talk about that as well, where it's like we all have our journey.
Mm-hmm.
And we all have our journey in life, right? And God's not going to throw you. I'm personally religious, so God's not going to throw you a challenge that you can't handle. Right. So all these things that might seem doom and gloom, like day in, day out, that happen in your personal life with your daughter, or even with the job in general, man, like these are all lessons. Like, what are you learning from these lessons? And what are you taking from them? Like, you could take it easily as like, only bad things happening, but like, look at the joy, It doesn't matter how bad something is in life, good's going to come from it. And you guys are living proof of that day in and day out. When you guys go to these kids' house and you're giving them an extra day, an extra week, an extra month, that's what it's about, because you're giving that family another day with their kid.
And I think that's kind of pulling that into it too, is that, you talk about God's not going to give you a challenge that you can't handle.
Right.
I was told this once before when I was going through some struggles, is that God is not going to give you something, or he's not going to do something to you. So these families that have these kids with cancer, it's not God giving them cancer and doing it to the family, almost like blaming God for it. For us, and for me, when I was told this, it really kind of set in, is that if you pray to God for patience, he's going to give you an opportunity to be patient. So if you're praying to God for for help in a situation, he's not going to give you the help. He's going to give you an opportunity to help yourself to grow as a human being.
Right.
So to me, when these families, they're praying for help, they're praying for patience. If I pray to God for patience, my daughter's going to come up and annoy me the second after I pray, right? Because he's going to give me an opportunity to learn how to do
cereal over the floor, dump milk over the floor. Yeah,
exactly. And it seems like it's just like the world's falling apart around it, but he's giving you opportunities.
Yes.
And when I was going through all this stuff with my family, when I got offered the possibility of joining up with Project Fire Buddies, he was giving me the opportunity to work through those struggles rather than just helping me with those struggles.
Yes.
And I've grown as a human being because of it. I'm hoping to do that for these families. I'm hoping to do that for anybody who wants to volunteer.
Yeah.
Any of the chapters that join up. That's my goal with Project Fire Buddies.
And you're doing it, man. And I kind of want to circle back to what you were saying. Like, you put on your bunker gear, right? And to you, it's like, how many times you put on your bunker gear, brother?
Yeah.
Every day, every call you go to.
All the shit I'm going to get for putting it on, right?
Right. And like, to you it's like another day, but to them, like, they're literally seeing their hero. Because, like, as a kid, like, what did you want to be? You want to be a firefighter? Like, all these kids, you ask them, what do you want to be? I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a soldier. I want to be a
nurse,
cop. I want to be a nurse,
officer,
like doctor.
teacher. Yep.
You know, to you, you're living your dream, but now it becomes monotony of like, oh, this is just another day, another day. But like to them, that's everything, man.
It's the coolest thing for them to have somebody show up with all their gear on and sit down and have dinner with them or have lunch with them around all their friends and stuff. For that day, she got to be the star, which she should.
Right.
And that was the goal of that.
Yes, and all those kids probably saw her, and all the it's just fucking magical, brother.
Yeah, dude,
it's magical.
When it comes down to it, it's the purest good that you could do.
Right.
Is for a kid who didn't ask for the shit that they're going through to help them. And I go to sleep at night knowing full well that I'm hopefully earning my spot in heaven someday.
Brother, I'm a huge fan of karma. And everyone hears karma of like, oh, it's bad. No, karma's also good. Like the more good you put in this world, the more good you get back. And it's a proven case, right? Like where your mindset is everything. So stop telling yourself every single day of, oh my God, my life is this. I'm so busy. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. I'm this, I'm that. Like I'm never going to be good enough. Like the way you talk to yourself is how your life is going to go. Absolutely. I'm a firm believer of that.
Absolutely.
Firm believer of that.
And if you aren't being challenged, then you're not living to its fullest.
Right.
So you got to look at your tribulations as a chance for growth. That opportunity
100%,
that he's giving
man.
you to grow. And for me, even my kids, like, if they're having a bad day, they want to go here, they want to go there, or they want this toy or whatever.
Yeah.
You just remind them, hey, remember that visit we did a couple of weeks ago when we dropped off those kids? Those kids don't get to do any of that, so you're very lucky.
Very lucky.
And it's a very valuable lesson to them.
I was going to say, so that's actually a good point that you brought up. So, like, how is that? So you involve your family in this organization as well?
As much as I can.
Yes.
Yep.
Right. Correct. So you, your wife, all that stuff. So how is that for them as well? Do you think they are getting something out of it?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. My wife does a lot of the swag work. She's actually here getting ready for the gala right now, but she started working for Project Fire Buddies too. My kids, though, I think had the biggest effect on them.
Yeah.
They draw pictures every time I go do a visit. They want to write a card, make a card for the kids. And again, to me, it's just as simple as I turn to them and I say, hey, there are kids out there that aren't going to be able to do this because of their sickness. And you've seen them. You've seen the problems that they're going through. You should be very blessed, very lucky to be where you're at.
Right.
And they do. They believe that. And they don't feel that sense of guilt, but they feel that sense of, you're right, Dad. And then they kind of straighten out a little bit. I'm trying to make them good people in the world too.
Well,
and
brother,
this
you're
is,
doing
again,
it.
this job, I say job, but this organization is doing that for me as well. So again, multifaceted. This organization does way more than just deliver gifts to kids. It is fixing a lot of the world's problems, all encompassing in one.
Brother, I think the world needs more Project Fire Buddies in their life.
That's the plan, man. We're gonna get out there. We're gonna get to all 50 states. We're gonna hit as many chapters as we can. We're gonna help as many kids as we can.
Yeah.
And then one day when I'm old and tired, I can look back and say, hey, hopefully I made this place better.
Brother, you are. Not even just with Project Fire Buddies, but with the job you do day in and day out. Like, being a firefighter, you are a firefighter. You are also a paramedic. So people aren't calling you because they stub their toe. Yes,
we do get a lot of that. We do get a lot of that.
You do get a lot of that. But there's also a lot of, you see people in their darkest days, man. And who are they calling? They're calling you in their darkest days. So it's like, that's another thing to keep in mind. Whoever's the first responder out there, you guys, like, people are calling you on their darkest days. Like, don't be showing up grouchy because you got woke up at 2 a.m. Or if you're an officer, like, don't be mad because it's 3 a.m. and it's your lunchtime and you have to go handle domestic or handle something. All that stuff affects that family. They're calling you on their worst day of their life. Yep.
And for those guys that feel burnt out because of it, you're poisoning yourself with those feelings of burnout and everything else. Well, I have the antidote for you, and it's joining something like this, doing something
100%.
like this, because it truly offloads some of that poison to be able to put some good back in the world, and it's the best way to do it.
Absolutely, brother. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Hey, thank you very much for having me, man. This has been a great conversation.
Dude, it's great. You're a good dude. Anything you wanna say before you take off?
No, man, I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for coming remote. I mean, I think that this is a fantastic way to do it. I mean, we get to hang out in front of the Project Fire Buddies engine here. And
I asked him, like, hey, where can I set up? He's like, hey, where you want? I'm like, oh, right in front of the fire truck. That's where I want to be.
We're all little kids when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But, man, no, I appreciate you coming out. And
brother,
thank you very much.
Honor's all mine, man. And I appreciate for what you do. Seriously, man, I do appreciate what you do. at your job and also here.
Well, like I said, we can't do this without having people like you guys come out here and help us spread the word and put us out there. We don't have the ability sometimes to do this. So you guys are a part of the team, and we appreciate you for doing that.
Happy to be here, man.
All right. Get up, Mike. Thanks, thank you. All right, who's up next?
Get on over here, big guy. Oh, you're in, brother.
All right.
You're in. All right, man. Tell us a little about yourself. Introduce yourself.
So, Ryan Ballard, I'm the Chief Operating Officer and Vice President of the organization.
Love it.
Been involved in Project Fire Buddies since the beginning. Luckily, Kurt asked me a long time ago to be a part of it, and it's been a blessing ever since.
Ever since, huh?
Ever since.
Dumped a lot on your plate, but you're taking it, man.
A lot.
Love it.
But I love it.
So you're also with Oak Forest, correct?
Yes. I'm also with Oak Forest. I've been there full-time, it'll be 11 years this year, and then I was part-time 10 years before that there as well.
Nice, man. So you also know my cousin Corey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Love
Good
Corey.
Dude. Oh, yeah.
Love Corey.
Good dude.
Great guy.
I always hear some of the calls you guys go on, and I'm like, so like I'm out of there now, right? So I'm medically retired, so like I always kind of try to call some of my buddies, call Corey. I'm like, all right,
sure.
Tell me a few stories. Tell me a few stories. I miss it.
Corey's got some, that's for sure.
Oh, beyond.
He's at the center of some of them too. So
probably causing a few some of the
be.
problems.
I love them though. Love them.
Oh man, but there's honestly and truthfully like fire departments. You guys do have a great brotherhood too. So
we do.
You know, and you guys spend a lot of time together. Like you guys, your shifts are 24 on, right?
Yeah.
So two, 1 on, 2 off, right?
Yep.
Is that you guys swings? Yeah. Yep. So you spend a lot of time with each other. Like
we do.
The whole day, the whole night, dinner, breakfast, lunch,
everything.
Oh,
everything.
Man.
And then with Kurt, it's 24 hours there, and then we spend every other waking moment here, at Fire Buddies. So, but yeah, man, it's a family. That's that whole atmosphere. I mean,
that's what it's all about.
You guys do have that in the law enforcement world,
kind of,
but,
yes.
It's different with us because we're literally living with each other for 24 hours at a time.
Yep.
So, but it's very much like a family.
Yeah, because I was in the Coast Guard, and I was stationed on the south side of Chicago, Cal Park.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And we would do almost the same shit, but it would be 2 on, 2 off, or sliding weekends. So like half the year I spent with all the guys at the station, and you develop like a brotherhood. Like I still talk to my one buddy Kellen. I was only there like a year when he was there, and he moved to Florida. We're best friends, man. Like he became a cop down in Florida, Pinellas County. He was a K-9 handler, all that stuff. Yeah. And we still keep in touch, man, because that relationship you built. Because, bro, like when you go into a fire like that, who's coming to get you if you go down?
Exactly.
Those guys.
Yep.
So what made you want to become a firefighter, man?
Oh God, that was. I didn't know what I wanted to do after high school. I played hockey all my life. I was like, all right, do I go and do that in college?
Right.
I wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
100%. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. My dad was part-time with Oak Forest for I think it was 8 years or so.
That's kind of cool, man.
Way back in the day in the 70s and early 80s. And he's like, well, do you like that? Was that something you wanted to do? I was debating on that in the military. I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And finally, I just took the leap and ended up getting into the fire academy in 2005.
Okay.
And the rest is history.
How was that, like working for the same department your dad did?
It was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, he was only part-time there.
Right, but still cool.
It was still cool because we have this big like placard type thing downstairs, and it's got all, especially back then, they put everybody up there. Right. And then what years of service they had, whether you're full-time or part-time, and then it's cool to see his placard on there, and then mine placard's on there now, and it's really cool.
Yeah. So
really cool.
You're married, wife, kids?
Yeah, married. Jill's walking around here somewhere, setting up, and 2 kids.
Oh, nice, man. Nice. And I'm sure that's pretty cool for them too, to kind of, for them as their dad's a firefighter. But at probably the same time, it's probably no different for them because that's all they ever known, right?
Yeah, that's all they ever known. I mean, to me, it's, some people sit here and say, oh, you guys are heroes and this, and that. I mean, to me, it's just a job.
You're doing your
job. It's a blue collar. Right. We're laborers. That's what we are.
Right.
We're just doing a job.
Right.
I mean, the real heroes are these
kids
that we're lucky and blessed enough to represent. But 100%. Those are the real heroes in every community.
To them, you guys are heroes, and that's and that's very important, man. So like, let's dive into Project Fire Buddies, brother.
Sure.
Like, so Kurt got you into it, right? How was do you remember your first experience with?
I do.
A fire buddy?
Yeah.
How was that?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't get old.
Right.
It's the same. That same feeling every time. Even here tonight or tomorrow night, Seeing a few of them here it's that feeling is there, and it's always strong. It'll never go away. But that first visit that we had, we were just going over. We had no idea what the hell we were going to do. Right. So we
winging it.
Yeah, and it was before it even had a name.
Right.
So we go down there and we were just going to go and play air hockey, with this kid, and we had no idea what to expect. I didn't know what to say. Just kind of stood there. We were playing air hockey a little bit, and but just seeing that kid smile, I remember it to this day, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And that's what we tell every new chapter that comes on. It's like you can talk about it. You can we can puff it up as much as we want, and obviously I can talk about the organization for days, but until they do that first visit.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, they come back and are like, it was everything you said it was.
And more.
And more.
Yeah, and it keeps you coming back. And we're just talking about Kevyn. I was like, dude, that's like food for the soul, man.
It is.
It really is.
It is. There's so much darkness in this world right now. And it's beautiful to be able to be part of something that's creating light.
Right.
When there's not so much light in this world right now.
No, brother, it's dark. It's dark right now.
It is, right? And being law enforcement for the years that you were in it, and with us being in the fire service, we unfortunately see the dark side of humanity.
Right.
All the time.
We deal with, someone told me, we deal with 8% or 7% of the population, 99% of the time, and that 100%. Jades you. It does jade you, and if you let it, it will.
Yeah.
So seeing Project Buddies, so you started at the foundation. How is it seeing it from then till now? How is that for you?
It's incredible.
Right.
It's seeing in even just this night that's going to happen tomorrow, in seeing what we started from essentially scratch, nothing, and it was just visiting a couple of kids every once in a while, and then it grew and it snowballed and snowballed and snowballed some more, and then it really started growing during COVID, which was amazing in itself.
Oh, absolutely.
We brought Kevyn on, and we brought Jeff from Oak Lawn, and some of these other guys early on, and just watching it, because again, they how do we get involved? I don't know, man. Let's call you a chapter and let's see what happens.
Right. Roll dice. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we were like, okay, and then it just grew and grew and grew, and now we have 170 of those chapters across 15 states, and just to know that it happened right here,
right?
It blows me away. I mean, it's surreal for me, because we've been there since the beginning,
right?
And I don't think it'll never get old.
Never.
It is a very surreal feeling, and I, seeing what happens. I mean, thank God you'll be able to see it, tomorrow night in person.
I'm excited.
And it's so cool.
Yeah.
It is such a cool thing to be in this room, to see all these families, all these people here supporting these families. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Dude, it really does give just the community hope as well, right? Because I feel like that also brings in the community. I mean, my brother was talking about, there was a fire buddy in Frankfurt. Mm-hmm. I think she's on your guys' Maggie. Yeah,
she's right there.
Right. So it's that's just amazing. Mm-hmm. It's so amazing. And I was telling Kev too, we had, or I think it was telling Kev or Kurt, but we had a Project Fire Buddy down the street from my house.
Yeah.
And I see you guys drive up, and I'm like, man, dude, I couldn't imagine having my kid, being sick, and to have people out, like you guys out there, that are giving them hope and giving them, that next day or that next week. It's just, it's moving, man. It really is.
It is. And, especially when you have those personal connections with, some of these families. I went to high school with Maggie's parents.
No way.
And my buddy, one of my best friends that I've had since high school, his kid was diagnosed with leukemia at one point in time. And
brother.
I mean, he doesn't know this, so hopefully, he's watching, but I still haven't told him this day. But when his son was diagnosed, I believe his mom was the one that called me first, and I started crying.
Yeah.
Immediately, because he's like family to me.
Right.
He always will be.
Like a brother.
He is.
Yeah.
100%. He's been one of my best friends since freshman year of high school, and it's been, his kids are family to me too.
Right.
And I cried, for a good 15, 20 minutes.
I would have too, brother.
He still doesn't know that, but maybe he'll find out now if he watches. So, but and my first reaction was, all right, got to get him in the program.
Right.
He lives in a community that had a chapter, that has a chapter, and I'm like, I got to get him in.
Right.
You know, and I obviously didn't want to be pushy about it. Same thing with with Maggie, just reaching out and letting them know that, hey, we're here.
Right.
We're here when you need us, because a lot of the times families are reluctant to reach out, and that's completely understandable, right? Because it's a new diagnosis. They don't know their life is turned upside down, and they don't know, left from right, up from down.
Right.
And it might take them a little bit to come around and say, you know what, I do need help, right? Yeah. Because you know how it is.
Would you
hate asking for help.
I'm the same way, man.
I hate it.
I'll do it by myself.
Exactly. I will do it by myself until
I'll die before I ask for help. 100%.
I'm the same way. So, and I understand why all these families feel that way.
Right.
And sometimes for some families, they might feel embarrassed asking for help. They might feel like, I don't want to be a burden on this organization.
Right.
Well, you're not. That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
That is our whole mission, is to help and serve you. Right. God put us on this earth for a reason, and I feel like we found that reason with this organization.
100%, man.
And having now that personal connection with these families, and thank God they both said, you know what, let's do it. Erin, Maggie's mom, she says it in a couple of videos. She was like, I didn't want all these firemen coming into my house. I didn't know what to think. And I didn't, all these strangers. And, shortly after that, she was extremely thankful that this relationship started with the organization. And I mean, now she's a giant cheerleader for the organization. It's amazing to see. And so many amazing families that are a part of this. And obviously Maggie's family and my buddy's family are two of them that, they're unbelievably appreciative of the support that is given with Project Fire Buddies, because it's about bringing that light into these dark times that they're having. And you can't, there's no price that you could put on that.
Zero. 100%. I agree with you. 100%.
So it's beautiful.
Oh, brother, it really truly is. Now, what's probably one of the hardest parts about being in this organization for you?
One, seeing any kid go through what they go through. I mentioned earlier that these kids are heroes because they are.
Yeah.
I don't do shit as a fireman. Like, in comparison to what they do.
What they have to do.
Like, they go through hell. And I can't put myself in their shoes.
Right.
I can't. I don't know I can't imagine what they're going through.
Right.
And even having such a personal connection to a family, I can't understand it. I don't know what they go through, and they are the real heroes. So seeing these kids go through what they go through is absolutely horrible. It's horrible, but it also makes us feel good because we are there to help them. Even in what we think is such a small way, it helps them in such a big way, right?
Right.
But I would say the absolute hardest thing on top of that is seeing one pass.
Oh, God. That has to rip your heart out of your chest.
It does. We try to make, it's hard sometimes, but we try to make every service that we can. And it's awful, man.
Yeah. Because you become part of your family. Like, just like the guys at the firehouse are your family, these people also become part of your family too. Because you're pouring your heart and soul into them, and you develop that relationship with the parents, with the family, with the brothers, the sisters.
Yeah, it's so true. And with us, especially when we go to some of the other chapters that we don't really have a direct relationship with those families, right?
Right.
Which we shouldn't, because honestly, they shouldn't care who Ryan is. They shouldn't care who Kurt is or Kevin or anybody else. They care about that chapter and that department because they're the ones that are creating that relationship with the family. Those are the people that they look forward to seeing, that's exactly how it should be.
100%.
They are the heroes in each other's stories.
Yes.
Because that family does as much good for the firemen as they do for the family, whether the firemen like to admit it or not.
Right.
We're all bullheaded. We're all hard-headed. Right?
No, never.
But it does wonders for them as well, right?
Beyond.
It heals.
Yes.
It heals. But even when you go to those things, you see some of these chapter members because we try to make as many as we can, especially, Kurt and I and some of the leadership team. But when the chapters show up, like, a lot of them are in tears.
Yeah.
Right? Because just like you said, they create that relationship with the family.
100%.
And it's like one of their own.
Yeah.
And seeing, in being there for that it's moving, because it shows the family, especially some of the extended family and friends that never really got to witness some of that stuff.
Right.
And then we all show up, and everybody in the room is moved to tears, because they some of these people didn't realize the impact that our organization has on the families, and then also the impact that the family has on the organization. It goes both ways.
Oh, guaranteed.
And it's one of the hardest things in the world. I mean, my dad said it to me a million times, and I would say it to my kids when they get older, but a parent should never, ever, ever have to bury their own child.
Brother.
Ever.
100%.
So to see that, it's heartbreaking, man.
It really is.
It
really is. And then you just to see that the fight in them.
Yeah.
It has to give like you guys that same drive of like,
yeah.
They can fight, I can fight.
Absolutely.
And also too, it puts things in perspective for you of like,
it does.
One of the most innocent things on earth are children, right?
Yeah.
And they should never have to, because there's plenty of people out in this world that are just pure evil.
Oh,
that deserve probably some of these illnesses instead of like these kids, because they have so much life to live and so much potential, and it really is heartbreaking.
It is, man. And you pray and pray and pray and pray, right? Like, why, help these kids, why, right? And you have to start asking questions, right? I mean, obviously, we don't know his plan, right? None of us ever will. No one ever will. But and that's one of those things where you look up and you're like, it couldn't be. Why the kids? Why?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense to us, right?
Right.
But we're not sitting in that seat.
You can't sit there and dwell on it and try to figure it out, because you'll just drive yourself crazy.
You can't.
And my thing is like, everyone has their journey.
They do.
Everyone has their journey to accomplish, to overcome, and I was telling Kev that too. Is it's like, God's not going to give you anything you can't handle.
Yeah, 100%.
That's no matter
perfectly said.
How dark the day gets or how horrible, good does come from it, and you guys are living proof of that every day, man. Because like you guys are changing these kids' lives, changing your own lives too.
Oh, I thank God every day for putting me in this position, allowing me blessing me with this organization. I mean, I couldn't feel more blessed in my life.
Right. I can see it on your face, man. Like, and even in your voice when you're talking about it, like you legitimately care, and that's we need more people like that in this world, brother.
I know, and that's why you look at the sometimes you ask why, right? And you said it perfectly. All we can do now is just understand that it happens.
Yes.
And what can we do to make it better or fix it?
Right.
Right. And that's where we come in, and we're able to make that, bridge that gap, and do something positive in these families' lives. And that's what it's about. And whether we're bringing gifts or whether we're just coming over to play the game of air hockey or throwing a football around or whatever it is, it just makes the world to these families. And
oh, brother, 100%.
That's what it's about,
and
man.
You're making the world a better place, truly, because you guys are touching not just that kid's lives, you're touching that family's life, the extended family's life, and then also the community who also knows and realizes what's going on too. You guys are touching so many lives. So many lives. Paying it forward, brother. Paying it forward for sure.
We're trying.
Oh, you're doing it.
We're trying.
You're doing it. So what is probably one of your best or one of your favorite moments with Project Fire Buddies? Do you have one? I'm sure you have numerous, but do you have one that sticks out to you?
There's a lot. Obviously this gala is a very special thing.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing all the families, supporters, donors, chapters, just have a conglomerate of the different facets of the organization getting together under one roof, one night, and seeing everybody mingle. And it's such a beautiful thing to see all that come together. It's so cool. I love this event. It's amazing. So if you're looking for tickets next year, please hop on that wagon.
Where do they go for tickets?
Just our website, and then we'll have the link and all that stuff together. But that being a part of deliveries, I mean, they're just amazing. Hearing some of the stories from the chapters that come in. Kurt tells one a lot about a baseball bat. I don't know if
I remember he told in the podcast, but tell it again, please.
a chapter came to him looking to one of the, I think he was 12 years old, the child, and I believe it was a terminal illness, if I'm getting my facts correct, but a travel baseball player, loved baseball, and wanted a new bat. Bat was like $500, right?
Yeah.
I know bats are expensive. I'm a hockey guy. Hockey sticks are expensive.
Stupid expensive.
Very
The
expensive.
hockey sticks, and they break too. So that's
they
all
break all the time.
brother. Yeah.
Absolutely. So so I understand. I understand the cost thing, right? And the chapter wanted to, they came to Kurt and they said, hey, I don't know if we should buy this bat. I feel bad putting in for it. It's a lot of money, right?
Right.
And Kurt had the perfect response, and he sat back and he thought about it, and he's like, get the bat.
Get the bat.
How can you put a price on hope? In that child's mind, that kid's going to the MLB.
Right.
Right? Which, God willing, he
Right.
does,
100%.
right? And hopefully that bat takes him there.
100%.
Right? But, how can you put a price on hope? And that instance is exactly the persona and the mantra that we have in this organization is, how can you put a price on anything that we do for these families?
100%, brother.
Right? We will find a way, right? Yes, money's not unlimited. We wish it was.
Right.
But it's not. So if you're looking to donate.
Right. So if someone does want to donate, how can they support Project Fire Buddies?
Go to the website, hit the donate button in the corner, and any dollar amount helps. It really does.
Absolutely.
But
also, if they want a T-shirt, does proceeds go also to
Yes.
the foundation?
yes, we have the best
PFBswag.com?
swag. Yes, PFBswag.com. We
Yeah,
have the best swag in the world. Our lovely designer, she's walking around here, Bridget.
Bridget, I talked. So Bridget actually knows my mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
My mom used to work at Curves back in the day. She goes,
Oh, man.
She goes, your mom,
Okay.
Connie? I'm like, yeah. She goes, yeah, I used to work out with your mom at Curves back in the day.
That's fantastic.
Small world, brother.
Small world. But yeah, she does all the designs. She's amazing. We have the best swag in the world. So that all directly supports our mission. But, yes, money isn't unlimited,
Right.
but we will do whatever we can to make these dreams happen for these kids. I mean, we've sent kids to Disney World, we've sent kids to the Dells, we've sent kids all across the country to all kinds of sporting events, concerts,
Yeah.
whatever it may be, celebrity shout outs, whatever it is, we will do whatever we have to do
Yeah.
to make it happen.
And you guys do it.
We
And
try.
You guys do it.
We
You
try.
He's-
Sometimes we don't get it, but it's not because of lack of effort. I can tell you that.
Right. Honestly, I think a lot of the kids just showing up.
Yeah.
Just showing up and seeing you.
Exactly.
Seeing the fire truck pull up in front of the house and,
It's not all
and
about the
hanging out. And
gifts.
Kev was just talking about how he went to this little girl's school and
Yeah.
had lunch with her and played tag with her. Like
Yeah.
that probably meant the world
Oh.
to her. And then all of her friends are seeing her, play with a firefighter at school. Like
Right.
that's awesome, man.
It's so cool. And like some of those visits are some of the special ones, right?
best.
Like even like in the summer where we grab a bunch of super soakers.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're going over to the kid's house and you're having a big squirt gun fight, diving underneath stuff. Maybe we're hooking up a booster line to the rig or something. And
Right.
it's so fun, man. It's so fun. And even that, like, we didn't bring any gifts over.
right?
We just had fun.
Yes.
And that's what it's about, because that family was able to forget about what's going on for 20, 30 minutes out of their day.
And that kid probably forgot that they
Yeah.
were sick, and
Yeah.
and that's what it's about,
It
showing
is.
them the good time and taking that off their mind, because I'm sure that plays on them as well.
Oh, absolutely it does. It does. And then you look at that, right? And take the school setting, right? Because the vast majority of these are all school age kids, right?
Yeah.
They're looked at school like, little Johnny or little Susie's the sick kid, right?
Right.
Well, when they're part of Project Fire Buddies, they're not the sick kid anymore.
Nope.
They're wearing Fire Buddies gear at school, and then they're like, oh, he's a fire buddy.
He's a fire buddy.
He's a fire buddy.
Yeah.
Right? It's a totally different game changer for these kids,
That's so
because
cool.
now they're looked at like heroes,
Yes.
which they are.
Oh my God, brother.
They are.
They're so
110% they're
Yeah.
a hero, right? And I'll say it till forever. I've said it 2-3 times in this interview now, and now they're looked at like, oh, that's a fire buddy.
It's a fire buddy.
And everywhere they go, like especially when they're in town and they're at. I ran into a family getting my hair cut. I think it was last year at some point.
Yeah.
They all walked in wearing Fire Buddies gear, and
Love it.
I didn't recognize them at first, and didn't really. I just wanted to see, hey, what was their genuine reaction about the organization?
Right.
And
did you just slow play it? Like you weren't involved at all?
Yeah,
No?
I do it all the time.
I love it.
I do it all the time. There's actually a lady that walks around in my neighborhood with a Fire Buddies shirt. She has no idea who I am or if I'm even involved in the organization.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, I just, I support them because I was wearing a shirt one day when she was walking by. I mean, it's all I wear. But it's so cool to see their genuine reactions, and it creates conversations in the community. That's what I love about our swag, especially with the good Daymaker stuff that's coming out now, and it's not so fire department centric, right?
Yeah.
With the Maltese and stuff like that.
Right.
And it just creates conversation.
It does.
And it just lets more people know about what's going on in the community and stuff like that. And just hearing those genuine reactions, it's so cool. I was texted Kurt last night. My kid plays hockey, and I coach, and so we were at the ice rink and we were walking in, and there was a coach that was on the ice before us, and he was skating around with a sweatshirt on, with a Fire Buddy sweatshirt on. And I texted him immediately, I'm like, dude, there's a guy skating around on the ice with a sweatshirt on.
I love it.
And it never gets dull.
No, it
never
doesn't.
gets dull, man.
It doesn't. So
it's so cool.
Even before Kurt came on the podcast, I think we were in talks to them, tried to get him on the podcast. Yeah. And I was driving to my house, and I live in unincorporated New Lenox, so it's like there's no sidewalks.
Yeah.
And this kid's on the side of the road walking, and he has a Project Fire Buddies shirt on. And I'm like, if that's not a sign from God, I don't know what is, brother. And Kurt hooked me up, got me a bunch of swag, and then I bought some shirts and some sweatshirts, and I wear it all the time to the gym. I wear your guys' hat every single day to the gym, and people come up to me all the time, like, what's Project Fire Buddies? What's Project Fire? I'm like, how much time do you have?
Exactly.
Because I'm going to tell you, like, how much time, and I'll fit what I need to say in that amount of lot of time.
It's
awesome.
such
a great organization, man, and what you guys are doing is just phenomenal. It really is, man.
I'm biased, but I think
it is. But for the good reasons.
Right,
for good
absolutely.
reasons. And another thing, too, is, like, I find amazing as well is, like, you guys also get your families involved in this.
Yes.
And I feel like that's extremely important, especially for young individuals that are growing up in this crazy time where you have so much technology at your fingertips, and they're going to be persuaded and molded, or I guess kind of brainwashed by social media.
Yeah.
You're giving them, like, this is what life's about.
Yeah.
It is giving and putting good back into this world.
Yes, bringing positivity back in, giving back, showing that we're on this earth for more than just
bullshit.
Yes. Yeah. We're on this earth for more than that.
Yep.
Right? If we can pay it forward, if we can just do good things in the community, good things are going to come to you.
Yes.
Right? And not only that, but that's why God put us here.
Yes. Karma,
right?
You give good, you get good. You put bad, you get bad.
Put more good out into the world, and that's, and that's what I try to teach. I mean, my daughter's, she's only 1.5, so she doesn't know. But my son, he's 9, so that's one of the lessons that I and my wife try to teach him. Right? This is about giving back. Right? This is about putting good into the world.
Right.
What can you do for somebody else? And the key is there, especially when I'm talking to kids and him, to not expect anything in return. That's the key. That's what I think is lost in translation a lot in this world.
Dude.
Like if I do something for you, I don't expect anything in return.
No, zero.
Right? That's just, I just wish that more people thought that way.
And it's not, because there's so many people, like, there's people out there like, oh, I don't work for free. If you help out your buddy, you're going to charge your buddy money to help him out with something? That's not who I do it, because I want to help you, because you are an important person in my life.
Yeah.
I do it because I love you, as you're a brother to me. That's why I do it.
For sure.
And to help you in a time of need, that's my payment.
Yeah.
I know
100%.
I got to help you when you needed that help.
Yeah.
So that's what feeds my soul.
Oh yeah, and that's, I think that's where some people look at the nonprofit world, right? And like, oh my God, all these people are making salaries and stuff, and and it's a very common misconception where I had a buddy of mine that actually an acquaintance of mine that really hit home. Why do all these charities, why do these people make salaries and stuff like that? And yes, there is a job portion to it. Right.
And it takes time. It takes up your time.
Oh my God.
Oh, dude, I bet.
A lot of time. But there is a job portion to it, and that's where some of that stuff gets lost. Right. Like you're still doing good. You're still putting good out in the world, right? Like that's why, do your homework, on charities. We talk about it all the time. We're lucky and we're blessed enough to say that 89 cents of every dollar goes to the mission.
Yep.
Right? We are in the top 4% of all nonprofits in the world.
How many nonprofits can say that? Not many.
No, we're in the top 4%. Right? So there isn't a lot. So that's something that I preach a lot. It came up in a conversation not too long ago with a donor, where they brought up Candid, which is one of the charity like transparency things, right? We have a platinum level of transparency with them, so we give them everything, all of our financials and all that stuff, right? Our audited financials.
Because you guys aren't hiding anything.
No, we're not at all, and that's why we prefer to do it that way, so that way they know. And they, so all my long story, I'm beating around the bush, but just go and do your research.
Yes.
Do your research on any charity that you want to support, and in us included, right?
Right.
Know what your money's going towards, right? That's what it comes down to, and know that it's going to a good thing. It's going to positivity, and you are making a difference in every child that we serve, that we have the honor to serve, every child's life. It's all helping them. So.
Couldn't agree more, brother.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. And I appreciate you coming on the podcast, dude.
And
I appreciate you sitting down with me.
No, I appreciate you giving me the time and having me on, and I thank you both for being here, and this is and I can't wait for you guys to experience tomorrow night. It's going to be amazing. It's going to blow you away.
After the interview, he's like, hey, you want to come to the gala? I'm like, absolutely, I want to come to the 100%. Gala. And then he sent me the video, and I watched the video. I honestly, what really moved me was seeing his son in his speech. Yes. It was like, man, that's and so what a feel-good moment, and that was probably so special for Kurt too. Absolutely. So special for Kurt.
So he came to me, and we got it all arranged. Kurt had no idea, obviously.
Right.
But he came to me. He's like, hey, I want to do something. I want to talk about my dad. I want to introduce him something. I'm like, okay, let's figure it out, dude.
100%.
That would be amazing, and he's gonna make him cry, but it'll be awesome. And Moose did a phenomenal job up there.
Killed it, dude.
He killed it. Awesome job.
He's
a good kid.
Moved me to tears. I remember exactly where I was at. I was in my backyard. I was picking up dog poop because I was going to mow my lawn. And I'm like, I want to watch this. And I'm like, I'm scooping it up. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to sit down. Like, this is too much for me. It hit me out of nowhere. I didn't expect me to get like that emotional over it. But like,
absolutely.
It's just such a good thing what you guys are doing, man. And more people need involved. So like you talk about like do your research. I already know the foundation you guys need to support. It's Project Fire Buddies, hands down. Go to pfbswag.com. Get yourself a shirt. The shirts are extremely comfortable. I have multiple. The sweatshirts, super soft, and your guys' designs are pretty badass.
They are, for sure.
Pretty badass. But brother, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much, buddy.
Thanks, bro.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you.
Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Murphy Carter Law. This one, I'm proud to announce, this is a great partnership with us. They are a phenomenal law firm. I've known Rick for a very long time. He's a fantastic guy. Heart of gold. He supports organizations like Project Fire Buddies who give back to kids with terminal illness. This guy cares. He is a staunch advocate for first responders. He's just a blue-collar guy. He really is. He was a union construction worker at one point, and now he's just a shark in the courtroom, and that's just a fact. You're not going to go wrong by going with Murphy Carter Law. I promise you that. They will fight for you like they fight for their own family, like they fight for their mother, like they fight for their father, their brother, or their sister. That's just who they are. And they advocate for you guys. I promise they will fight for you guys tooth and nail. That's what they're all about. To make you guys whole again, or to get you close to that as possible, and by any means necessary. They've won major cases already. I have some notes over here. They have $11.5 million truck accident case. They have a $9.5 million medical malpractice case, and another $7.1 million delivery truck accident. They handle their business. If you're looking for a lawyer, if you've been in a situation like Carrie and I have, Murphy Carter Law. Check them out. Go to murphycarterlaw.com. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Tell them that Beyond the Dispatch sent you.
So we have Mrs. DeGroot on.
Hello.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Kelly DeGroot. I'm the CEO, Kirk DeGroot's wife. I proud mother of 3, very, very proud mother of 3, and I am the director of mission operations at Project Fire Buddies.
Love it. Love it. So I had the honor of having your husband on the podcast, and I said it to him on the phone the other day. I was like, your podcast episode was probably one of my favorite.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no, it wasn't. I'm like, I'm not bullshitting you, brother. Like, I'm honest. It was definitely one of my favorite podcast episodes, and it moved me. It really did, because I didn't know there was such a person out there that had such a good heart. And it gives me hope for humanity. It really does. Because, like, being a first responder, I'm sure Kurt's talked about it, and me being law enforcement, like, you deal with, like, what, 8% of the population 99% of the time, and you become jaded.
Yeah.
So when I see things like this, I'm like, you know what? There is good in the world, and there still is good in the world. And the way he talked about you, the way he talked about his kids, you know, he's just a good-hearted man. And he talked about, you know, having a great job, being a sprinkler fitter, and you know, he's up on the scaffolding, and he's taking business calls for, you know, Project Fire Buddies, and he's trying to work, and he's like, I can't do this anymore, you know? And he's like, I had to leave being a pipe fitter to run this organization. Like, I'm telling you right now, I don't know one person in this world that would leave, you know, money like that to do what he's doing. Yeah. So how is it being married to Kurt DeGroot? That's gonna be my first question.
He's my best friend. So we actually started off I met him when I was 14.
Okay.
And he was 15, and we hit it off right away. We were friends. We were actually very, very good friends for 3 years, and I liked him, he liked me, but then he had a girlfriend, I had a boyfriend, you know, that's high school drama. It's cute when you think back to it, but it was like real heavy back then, you know?
Yeah, right,
and
right.
And then we ended up going to prom together. We ended up going out is what they called it in the 90s. Sorry, I don't know what they call it nowadays, but going out.
Dating or going out,
yes,
same
going out in the 90s. Awesome music and awesome terminology.
Let's go, let's go.
So yeah.
What was in the 90s? Green Day, Creed?
Oh, yes. Stone Temple Pilots was my favorite. Pearl Jam was his.
There we go.
Yeah.
All good bands.
I still.
Did you ever see the movie Ted?
Yes, I did.
When he goes, when he starts singing, it's like all the vowels, like, hey, you.
That's exactly what it is. I don't know if anybody watching would remember, but we used to have like tapes, and like they would have the words in it, and like especially with Eddie Vedder, you're like, what the hell was he saying?
When you say tapes, like now there's kids out there who don't know what DVDs are, or CDs out there. You know?
Or we play Jackbox games with the kids, and one of the challenges on it was actually a rotary phone, and Kurt and I are like, they're like, I'm pushing the button.
How do I dial this thing?
Yes,
my buddy had down the street, Kerry, who does the podcast with me, he couldn't make it today, but his mom had, or I would always dial home.
Yes.
Mom, can I stay like 10 more minutes?
Yes, that's exactly. I remember those. We had one downstairs and the regular one upstairs.
Oh yeah.
You know,
the good old days.
Yes.
I wish we could go back when things were simpler. Now we have cell phones. You have a supercomputer in your pocket at all times.
Exactly, and you know, it's such a blessing and a curse. I actually feel bad. Kurt and I have had this conversation a million times. I feel so bad for every generation after ours.
Right.
Well, we graduated in 97.
Right.
So our generation was literally the last one that could make mistakes without being held against you in the court of law for the rest of your life. Right. Like children should be able to.
100%.
And young adults should be able to. Actually, 100%. Any human should be able to. So I always tell them, I'm like, feel bad for you kids. I feel bad. So we would we were like strict on their monitor time growing up because I just found it so much more fun. We would go to the park. We'd sit there and have wiffle ball contests, boys against girls, all this stuff.
100%. We had a lake house in Indiana, and we would play wiffle ball all summer
the time.
long.
Yeah.
My dad would be involved. My uncle would be involved. Yeah. It'd skip off the trampoline. You're diving to catch it. Yeah, the good days.
Oh, come on, the obstacle course stuff. That's the best.
100%.
Yes.
Or ultimate frisbee. You know, you're running, you're not even looking, and then it bounces off the house, and you bounce off the house because you're not paying attention.
I played that once. I was absolutely wretched. It was not. I felt so inept. I'm like, oh wow. I'm like, I'm here for comic relief, everyone. Yes.
I love it. So you and Kurt met at a young age.
Yes.
Went to prom together.
Yes.
And then what kind of transpired after that? Did you guys just kept dating or going out?
We did. We actually, Kurt calls us overachievers, but I don't know if I'd call it that. I ended up pregnant with our first child when I was 18. He was 19.
Okay.
Overachievers. And then, we were well out of, I actually graduated high school early. So I was an early August birthday. So even if I didn't, I wasn't even going to be 18 till the following I was like over a year out of high school. So we ended up pregnant, and then with Curtis Jr., our oldest, and then we had 2 more, one when I was 22 and then one when I was 26, and I'm like, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All done.
Yeah, all done. So boy, girl, boy. And I don't know, like we had our, if people look at us now and they're like, oh, you guys are like perfect together. It takes a lot of work to get perfect. I mean, I don't do a lot of work on myself. We grew up together.
Right.
So like, especially when you're young, you're sort of like, like
100%.
you have to learn how to communicate.
Oh, communication in marriage is
huge. And we learned it. The one thing, there's 2 things. Like we have God in the middle, and it's him and I. And another thing is we love each other so much at the core that even like when we were at our worst, we're like, okay, we're working through this.
Yes.
Like we got to figure out A's not working, B didn't work. Let's try C and D.
Let's try another route.
Yes. So it's actually all come together now that we're older and our kids are older, and we really. It was an evolution. Yeah. And I'm so proud of him, and he really is as good and as genuine as you see. He's a normal human being, makes mistakes like other people, but his heart is always in the right place.
I'm pretty good at reading people. Yeah. With my career path, and even before that, but I always had like a good intuition on people. And like as soon as you could just hear the genuineness in his voice, and you see it in his face.
Yes.
And the eyes don't lie. He has it in him. He is a good-hearted person with a heart, honestly, heart of gold. Yeah. I say he's like an angel that fell from heaven all the time, but he's like, oh, no, I'm not. But he really, truly is.
I honestly, that's the first thing that actually I went from liking him as a friend to boyfriend is, I don't know if anybody's from the south side suburbs, but Brementown Mall. Okay. It used to be in Tinley, and now it's a gymnastics center, and then the Amish store and Menards. Yeah. But it used to be like this huge mall, and like there was a arcade, Gertie's was inside, movie theater. Well, all of us kids, I think I was almost going to be 16, and he was 16, almost going to be 17. We all went to the mall, carloads of us, and I saw him like just run real fast. I'm like, where's he going? And it was snowy outside, and he went to go ran to open a door for a woman who was like in a walker trying to get in by herself. And I was like, oh God, that moved me.
And how old was he at the time?
He was 16.
Yep.
So he just like naturally cared, and she's like, thank you, sweetheart. He's like, no problem. And he was like so genuine about it. And the rest of us are all like, okay, who's got quarters? Okay, can I borrow some money so we could get shit? Like nobody was worried about the old lady. Like not to be mean, we were just kids.
Right. That's not in your world.
Yeah, it wasn't in my world.
You want to go to the mall. You want to go walk around.
You're self-consumed when you're 16 and a girl. God, so I started. Yeah, he just wasn't. He beelined for her, and I'm like, that was hot.
That was hot. Yeah, I know who my man's gonna be. Yeah,
and he was confident too. I really liked his confidence. He's always been very confident. So confident, and he just had a heart of gold. And I saw him with his niece when she was little. He brought her over, and he was so good. He is so good with kids too. Yeah. And it's genuine, and he's just a good human.
Oh, beyond.
I approve.
I also approve.
Yes.
I also approve. He was a sprinkler fitter before he was a firefighter, correct?
He was.
So he tells a story. I think it was your daughter that was choking.
Yeah. So she actually, I took her to the doctor earlier that day, and she had some like sores in her throat, or her mouth and her throat. So I took her to the doctor, and she was crying. It was the first time she was really sick. I think she was 14 months at this point. Okay. First time she had ever been sick, and I noticed like these little bumps, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. So I called the doctor. Literally, our doctor is down the street. Got in. They put her on an antibiotic, and said, alternate Tylenol and ibuprofen. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I did, and the fever was not going down. Well, lo and behold, such a rookie move. Now, she was my second child, but my first one never had a fever. Right. Like, he would get colds, but he never had a fever. So this was new to me, this very high spiked fever. It was winter, and I had her like in the thickest pajamas, because the poor thing is like, wrong thing to do. So she ends up having this big seizure. I'm like panicked, handed her to Kurt. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. I go and call 911 in the kitchen, and I'm like, I think my baby's dying, Right. So give him the address, and we thought she was dying. We thought, okay, they missed something at birth, or there's something really, really wrong with her, and the doctor missed it, or, And then the firemen came in and they put the stethoscope on her, stripped her of her clothes except for her diaper, and she's completely flirting with them. And I'm like, thanks, thank you, God. And then I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Right.
And then Kurt's like, I had driven with them. They were sweet enough to let me go in the back of the ambulance because she was only 14 months and I was freaked out.
Oh, absolutely. I would be too.
Yeah. So we're there all night long at the hospital, and Kurt's like, I don't ever want to feel like that again. He's like, that's it. I'm going to be a fireman. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then it started, and he was an apprenticeship at the time for, I think apprenticeship came. He actually went to the firehouse first, so he was a part-time.
Okay.
He was a part-time, went to fire academy, FAE classes, all that stuff, and was part-time. And then he was, I think it was like his first or second year in the service that he did the sprinkler fitting. I can't remember. So he was a sprinkler fitter, doing really well. Went 5 years in his apprenticeship. Journeyman, absolutely wonderful. Then he ended up having the opportunity to be full-time, and he was 35, or 34 at the time, and you can't be past 35 to be full-time. So he made that transition. That was the first time we took a pay cut. So we took a 70% pay cut for him to flip-flop the jobs. And then he ended up staying with the Sprinkler Fitters Union. His friend opened up a shop, so Kurt was sort of like the project manager of his friend's sprinkler fitter. So he's making very good money. Then, before that though, we find out now he's got to do paramedic school.
Yeah.
So he was working the 2 jobs. Now he's got paramedic school. We have 3 kids, and now they're all grown.
And have a full family. Yeah.
And they're all in sports. So there's 3 sports seasons. So all the parents watching can relate. First sports season, I had 3 kids, 1 in each sport. The second middle season around winter, I had 5 sports between the 3 kids because 2 of them were in travel, of the same sport they were in. And then the third one in the summer, spring/summer, I had 3. So he's going through paramedic school. I've got this going on. He's got the 2 jobs. So we were running.
You want to talk about testing your marriage? I'm sure my brother can attest to this because he has kids in travel and Jeanette.
Yeah.
Kids in sports and also trying to juggle jobs.
Yes.
Oh my, you will test your marriage.
Yes, it does.
Sorry
it does.
to cut you off. But
it really did. In the very beginning, that's exactly what it did. And then but it also at the same time, we were so excited when we did get to see each other.
Right.
I'm like, hello, you.
Instead of passing.
Yeah. Because everybody's like, well, you see each other. You're at the gate. I'm like, yep, we see each other. And then good night.
Yep.
He goes to he's gone before I wake up in the morning, and then I don't see him. I always felt him kiss me on the cheek, and he still does. But aside from that, it was like hi bye, hey roommate, what's up?
Right, yeah.
Hey
what's up,
roommate.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Anything from the store today? I'm going. Yeah.
Yes.
Stop on the way home.
Yes.
100%.
And then to go back to, I'm sorry,
Nope, that was my fault. I threw you off track.
I'm a squirrel. Kurt's usually the one to do these things for a reason. I sort of squirrely.
No, it makes the interview, honestly, it makes the interview 10 times better because you get the fun little sidetracks. It's what makes the episode good.
Come on my sidetrack with me, yes.
Come on the adventure.
Please join. Yes, it's fun over here in Kellyville.
Yeah. In Kellyville.
Yeah, in Kellyville. So he ended up working 96 hours about a week, and then Fire Buddies was taking off like no other.
Yes.
And I think everybody's heard the story by now that
So how did he start Project Fire Buddies? Can you tell me that? Let's go, for people who haven't seen Kurt's episodes, did he just did it come to him, or how did that idea kind of start to transpire for him?
He had a call, and it was the same kid. I think his name was Liam. I think it was Liam. I know his name is Liam, but I think it was Liam. They kept getting a call for him. He was in the middle of cancer treatment with high fevers and stuff, and he's like, I just wish there was more I could do. He just felt so bad for the kid.
Yeah.
And then he just went back to the firehouse talking to some people. He's like, there has to be more we could do. And they're like, no, this is your job. This is
your job, right.
You got to let it go at this point. Now it's the doctor's job. We each have our job, and if you go further, it's not good for the psyche. There's nothing you could do. Kurt's like, no, I'm not talking about he's like, I don't know what I'm talking about yet. So then him and God molded over, and then he started, he's like, why don't we get them gifts or do this? And he actually went to his chief first to ask him if it was okay. And he was the only one who was like, well, I don't want to say only one. He was like one of a couple that said, you know what? Go ahead.
Love it.
I don't know if it'll work. I don't know, but I'm not going to stop you. I think that's a wonderful idea. So it transpired there. And then actually what people don't know is there was a lot of people in our neighborhood that we knew that had sick children. So he started. I think it was Theodora. There was Theodora, Liam, Ryan. There was just a whole bunch of. There was a lot. Trying to remember their names. God,
I'm surprised you named off the many you did, because like my memory is horrible. Well, so hey, hats off to you, because that was impressive.
I'm just on the spot. Like if I had like 5 seconds to think about it, I'd be like, okay, You know, it was one of Kara's friends too, and
right.
God, and I love her and her family, and I've known them for years, and I can't remember her name. I'm terrible. Names are not my forte.
Oh, neither are mine.
So there was a whole bunch, and what we would do is it was like. Kurt and I funded it for a while, and then Ryan would throw some stuff in, and then other people, they would put a boot in the middle, like some people would throw in. Then we had to go to Facebook, and then like some of the teachers that I worked with, like at St. Damien, like they donated all this stuff, and then some of the moms of the Pablo, like I think that he was the one who had the leg amputated. His mom, Eileen, I actually know all them because they went to St. Damien. Their kids went to St. Damien with my kids. Mm-hmm. So she would be like, I want to sponsor someone. I don't care how much, let me know how much.
Love it.
And then would do that. And then we started running out of money because we started getting a little bigger. But before we did that, Ryan and Kurt started a backpack drive for all of Oak Forest too. So that was like sort of at the time a part of Project Fire Buddies. And there was over 200 and something donated backpacks. And then we packed it. We called every single school. They told us like boy, girl, this grade, that grade, this is what it goes into. So we're downstairs, Kurt, I, the kids, the firemen, we're all sitting there and we're putting them together. Right. And we actually had to stop after that because at that point, then Project Fire Buddies started growing and we didn't have the extra time.
Right.
So that is one part I missed about the very beginning because it was just grassroots, like let's help Oak Forest
Right,
out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the best that we can. And the reason we wanted to do the backpacks is because when Kurt and I were young and Kara, my daughter, was going into first grade, I didn't have enough money to get her all of her supplies for her first day.
Right.
So she's like, is this all of it? And I'm like, and I lied, and I'm like, yeah, and if you're missing anything, honey, Mommy will make sure you have it tomorrow.
Right, because how do you tell your kid, like, no, we don't have enough money?
Exactly.
You know? And it breaks your heart.
Yeah, and they repeat, their parents at that age. I didn't want them going into class. My mom said we're broke.
Right.
You know, yeah. So I waitressed, so I was waitressing that day, and then I had enough money, stopped at the store, got her the rest of what she needed, and I'm like, you
never want any other parent to go through what you had to go through.
Yes.
100%, and that's amazing.
Yes, or the kid to go there with half the supplies or the cheapest supplies, or
right, you know, we all know how kids are. They're cruel.
They were terrible. They were cruel at my age, so I can't imagine. Yeah. So they sort of skipped around a bit, but do you have any questions about to fill in? No,
that was awesome. I mean, all that was great. I mean, seriously, because that's like how Project Fire Buddies first started. I mean, that's super important, and you guys were giving kids backpacks full of school supplies. I mean, that's super important because a lot of these kids don't have money for lunch, and they have to go on the school program, and they're getting peanut butter and jelly or just peanut butter and bread. And that's heartbreaking because you were a kid, I was a kid. I had a learning disability growing up, so it's learning reading. I had to go to a different class, and and how embarrassing was that for me? But at the same time, that made me who I am.
Exactly.
So I was embarrassed about it growing up, and even in my early adulthood. But then I was like, you know what? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? Because everyone has their own struggles in life.
They do. Everybody has their cross. And my cross doesn't look like your cross because I would be able to handle your cross, but I can handle the one I was given. Right. And I was ADHD. They didn't know what it was back then. Sorry to all the teachers. Now you know.
Now you know. Squirrel.
Squirrel. Uh-huh. And there was some class. It was funny because throughout the day I would have some classes. I'm like an A student. They're like, oh, Kelly's like one of my best students. You go talk to the teacher next, and I'm like, woohoo! In class.
Because you
Kelly,
didn't
stop
care.
talking.
You didn't care about that class. It didn't interest you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's exactly it.
I loved history. History was my jam. Learning about history. All the other class, I could care less about.
Yeah.
I never really even studied either. It was I would just pay attention.
Yeah, and you were just smart. Yeah. I was
and
like
just picked
that.
it up.
Yeah.
And just picked it up.
Except for I hated science.
Screw science.
I liked earth science and I liked biology. The chemistry, I'm like, oh, frick this. I'm not doing it. I'm like, frick, frack. Nope.
I'm in there making the Kool-Aid voice and getting kicked out in the hallway.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my, 5 times in my, I remember there was one time my teacher's like, did I offend you in some way? And I'm like, no, why? He's like, I keep asking you to be quiet. And then I felt so bad. I remember I was so good in the class after that because I didn't realize. Like, it clicked me back into focus. I'm like, no, you're like a really nice teacher.
Super
I'm
nice.
sorry. I hate chemistry.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Right.
But I didn't tell him I hate chemistry because I thought that would hurt his feelings. So from that point on, I remember I was very good in his class because I never meant to hurt him. But like when you have ADHD like that, sometimes you just need someone to like, excuse me. Like,
bring you back in.
Yeah, and he just did it so beautifully and perfectly. I forget his name, but I have his face on my head. And
yeah. Oh, I know what you mean.
Good man. Good man.
I'm a big face person too, so like, yes. I know you, but I just can't remember your name.
Yes, exactly.
Please don't come talk to me because I'm gonna feel really bad. I don't remember your name. Yeah.
Oh, it's so.
100%.
Do you want to hear a funny story about Kurt and names?
Rip it.
Oh,
let's hear
sweet mother. We have cross street neighbors. They're named Rick and Renee. So him and I are headed to one of his friends' weddings, and this was probably like 10 years ago. So we're headed to one of our friends' weddings, and Rick and Renee are outside, so we wave.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they're so sweet. I'm like, and Kurt's like, who? And I'm like, oh, Rick and Renee. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he waves. We're in the car, and I'm like, we get to the place, and I'm like, and I see people like really excited to see us, and I'm like, crap, Kurt. I'm like, you know how I'm bad with names. I know the face. I know you. I'm like, what is the name? He's like, oh, Rick and Renee. I go up to them.
He hit you with Rick and Renee?
He hit me with Rick and Renee, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I come up, I'm like, hey, Rick, hey, Renee. And they're like they don't even know how to look at me. Kurt's like,
Kurt did you dirty.
He did me so dirty. He starts dying laughing where they're dying laughing. I am horrified. I am 25 shades of scarlet. And I'm like, I want to crawl under one of the wedding tables and die. And I'm like, of course he did. Get you back.
Oh, yeah. You're going to wake up with a pillow over your face in the middle of the night.
Yeah. So then Kurt's laughing, and through his laughter is telling them this story. And she goes, oh, thank God I didn't know your name either. I'm like, thank you, God, for very nice people. She goes, I was so excited to see you because we had a great time last time I saw you. I'm like, I remember. She goes, I remember too, but I'm terrible with names. I'm like, oh, thank you, God. I'm terrible with names too. It ended up being so funny. All night long, we called them Rick and Renee. Right. Don't ask me their names still.
Everyone forgets. Everyone's human. We all have
They were so eloquent, and they were laughing. They thought it was so funny once they knew. At first, though, their faces, it was like,
what?
It was like a close-up, like a soap opera close-up. Like, and I'm like just staring at their faces like, oh, they're mortified. I don't know what to do. Like, you're not Rick and Renee? So,
I love it. That's hilarious. Oh, we're going to have to ask him about that later.
Oh, he is so funny.
Oh, he is.
He is. We get each other like back and forth, but he's always better. Like, he's witty.
Oh, very. Yeah. You can tell he's very sharp. Very sharp.
It takes me a couple minutes. And he's like that, yeah.
Oh man, I love it. So we're going to jump. Not your fault. We're jumping back into Project Fire Buddies. So you guys, started out in your basement, just putting backpacks together, and you guys are paying for gifts out of your own pocket. Because I remember him on the podcast talking about he got to the point where you guys had so many fire buddies that needed gifts for, and you guys tapped out your savings. You guys literally dipped into your savings to give to others.
Yes.
That's amazing.
We got help when we needed it.
Right.
There's just these sweet people. I don't know how they knew that we needed help, but it would just be I remember my sister's mother-in-law, Kurt, hurt his back at one of his jobs, and comes with just a shopping bag full of gift cards that she knows that we would need for the next month. I'm bawling my eyes out. My cross-street neighbor, you could tell that she knew we had it rough. She would just, every time she went grocery shopping, she would I just thought of you, and I just love the kids.
Oh my God.
I know what she was doing. We're still very close to her. I didn't realize it was that obvious. Nobody really did, but she saw how much we were working. She saw things falling apart around the house. We had the same cars, and we have 3 kids running around. So it was their kindness that helped us when we needed it most.
Yeah.
Best thing to do is pay it forward. And I feel like if everybody did that, the world would be a better place.
So much better place.
Yeah, but that's how grateful we were to the people who did that, and how you can't show gratitude except for by doing it for someone else.
And I've said this time and time again, and I will continue saying it because I believe it with all my heart, but you get what you give.
Yes.
And you guys were giving and giving and giving, and people probably see that.
Because we were given too.
Oh my God, yeah, because you guys were given, and then to the point where you probably didn't have anymore. That's just beautiful fucking thing. Beautiful thing. So he talks about how the one thing that really sticks out about his podcast episode to me was, because I'm a religious person as well.
Yes.
And and you talked about I don't know how this is happening, but it's I think everyone has a path, and God puts you on a path.
Me too.
And he's not going to give you anything you can't handle.
True.
But like it sounded like he was getting to his breaking point, and like the thing that really stands out, he was standing on that firefighter floor, being like, God, you gave me this, and you want me to do this, and he's like, I don't know what to do. He's like, I don't have money for this. He's like, give me a sign. Yeah. And then the next day he gets a call. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it was growing, it was bigger, and I don't have to, you said it perfectly. So what happened was Kurt was at the firehouse one day. We kept trying to get a 501c3, wouldn't go through, all this stuff. People wouldn't donate without a 501c3. Yeah. We were broke. So we literally tapped out everything. So Kurt you are making me nervous standing there.
Kurt sitting behind the camera just staring.
Yeah, like, go. I love you, but go. He's just like, go find Rick and Renee.
Go find Rick and Renee.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Squirrel.
Yeah, I love it.
So he ended up having this huge conversation with God. We're practicing Catholics. We are we each have a very close relationship with God, and it's the best thing that ever happened. That is my reason for living. I love it, and that's his. Yeah. So he has this big blowout with God. I don't want to say blowout, but like coming to Christ moment where he was just raw, like that renting of the heart. He rented his heart to God, and I guess he was on the floor. He was at work, so I don't know, but this was the story he told me, is that he was just on the floor, and he's like, people had to think I was crazy. I was like screaming on the floor, like, I don't know what you want me to do. I don't want to stop helping all these kids. I don't want to stop, doing this, but we are absolutely broke. Not only are we broke, we can't pay for our own stuff. Like, God, I don't know what you want. We need the donations. We've tried with our own money to get 501c3s and kept coming back and paying, and they're expensive. So I don't know what you want me to do.
The whole process too is just like broken, because like he would say, like he would file, and they'd be like, oh nope, you didn't do it right, and they would just send it back, and he's like, well, how do I do this? You're not giving me any sign. But that's just the state of Illinois. And that's a podcast for another day.
Yeah. That's a
that's a whole
different kind of podcast right there. But so then it was 3 days later. It was like 2 days later. He missed Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And that may have been Thanksgiving that he did that.
As firefighters and first responders, we miss a lot of holidays.
Yeah. But Thanksgiving is easy, so we'll have Thanksgiving on Friday.
100%.
Christmas stinks.
The days,
Easter
whatever.
stinks.
Yes. The days, whatever. It's who you're with, and spending that time together is the most important thing.
Exactly. But Thanksgiving's sort of easy, Plus it's closer to the weekend. Everybody's got off the next day. We play more games, and we, hang out, 100%. Whatever. So we're at my brother-in-law Bill's, his brother's house, and he gets this phone call, and it's the chief of Orland, and it's Chief Schofield. So he's like, hey, bud, Kurt ends up talking to him on the phone, doesn't even realize who it is at first. Then he's like, excuse me, who is this again? He's like, Chief Schofield. My son's playing, blah, blah, NFL. Yeah, I know who Michael Schofield, like,
for the Chargers,
Like, oh my gosh, no way. So he starts talking to him. He introduces him to Kendall.
Well, he said, I think it was, I don't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, please.
I think he said something like, I'm going to buy the gifts, or I'm going to buy you a gift. And he thought, maybe like one gift, two gifts, right?
That is it.
And then he called, and he's like, no, we're buying all the gifts. Like,
yes.
Your prayer's been answered,
That's what I'm saying. So this man calls, says, I'm going to order you all the gifts. By the way, because Kurt, he had asked Kurt some questions. He's like, we've been trying to do a 501c3. Oh, well, Kendall Coyne, that's my daughter-in-law, and I'll have them help you out.
Because she was an Olympian, right?
Yes,
and her dad was a lawyer.
Yes.
Yes, and she's like, we'll get you your 501c3, and that's how he got it.
That's how we got it, because he's a lawyer, so he knows how to put it together, right? And I got to say, we tried the best of our ability, but we're no lawyers.
Oh, agreed.
So I can argue, but I can't,
I'm actually really good at arguing, so if you need that, I'm your guy. I'm your girl.
Exactly. Yeah. So, that's the story, and it was their kindness that triggered everything, because now we have all the gifts. Not only that, we're going to have a 501c3, so we can actually ask different companies and different people, and they can get their tax write-off, and they know we're legit. We're not just, come on, unfortunately, there's a lot of people scamming people. And so
the world we live in.
So they're asking for the 501c3. We can't be mad at that.
Right.
Of course, let us,
100%.
I would want it too. So that's how it ended up. And the Schofields are amazing human beings. And
I love it.
Thank you. If they ever watch this, thank you. We love you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love you. They're just good humans. And actually, Michael's brother is, I believe, on Orland Fire Department.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He went to Sandberg, didn't he?
Yes. They went to Sandburg.
I think you graduated in 09, maybe?
I'm not sure about that, but that sounds pretty correct.
Possibly, because I think we played against them back in the day when I...
Yeah, when you were, so you know.
Back in the day.
Because his brother was really good at football too, I guess.
Maybe it was his brother, but I remember he went to Michigan, I think, to play college football. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, again.
Hey, that's not bad memory.
TBI, concussions, it doesn't work very well for me anymore.
Right?
Trying to get this thing to work.
Oh, it's working wonderful.
Oh,
You're very easy to talk to, by the way.
Thank you. You make it easy.
Oh, thanks.
So you've literally, what are your personal feelings about Project Fire Buddies, right? So like this, has to consume majority of your life. But
Yes.
how has it affected you positively and how has it affected you negatively?
It's a prayer come true. You know, when you're younger and you're like, I want to be this when you get older. I remember there was a conversation Kurt and I had when we were young.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just hope, I'm like, I don't care about money, and he never cared about money. I'm like, I just want to make enough money so that like we could do good every day.
Yes.
Like that's it. And I never really thought of it again. And then you have kids and things get a little hard, and then you're like growing together. Then things are easy. You're like, oh, I'm in love. And then you're like, oh, it got hard again. And just the roller coaster
That's
of life.
life, yeah.
Yeah. And then this comes, and it's like God is guiding it. Like God is guiding it. Like, and you know what, like you said, with your faith in humanity, every single person here helping, all the people who donate, like that is it's restored my faith in humanity.
Right.
And because it gets hard, especially after 2020 and seeing everything, all the crap everywhere, and the hate and the this and the riots and it's like, it brings you back in, and it hones you back into what's happening behind the scenes. Yeah. Like there's a famous saying, Satan shouts, God whispers. Yes. And he is whispering, and we're hoping, we want to be vessels for him to whisper through us. So this whole thing is a dream come true, because now we get to spend, our kids are older, they're 27, 24, and 20. So now we can forge path, and now we get to do what we love every single day and make a difference. Exactly what I told him that I wanted to do when I got older, and he's like, "That's actually perfect. I want to do the same thing." And then now it's an answered prayer. But we do let God guide us, and we hope that in a world that needs a lot of love right now, that that this organization could be a beacon of light for them. And we're not the light, it's the children. It's God first, and then through his children. Because like Kurt says, they are the true heroes. The parents too, they go through so much. Most people don't realize, hey, one of them at least has to quit a job.
Right, and then how does that do that? What does that do to them financially? They have a mortgage, they have bills, they have to put food on the table. And then you have a sick child on top of it, and you have to take care of your sick child.
Bills.
And then on top of your other kids, and the other kids have like events and sporting events to go to, right?
Yeah, that's why we include the children in the gifts, or the siblings in the gifts, because it's hard, because mom and dad are like, okay, we have little Johnny and Jenny over here,
give all the attention.
But I have to take care of Herbert over here. So it's like, you know what I mean? And they're being pulled, and then usually one's overcompensating with the work, so the one's at home doing a lot of the stuff, and it's heartbreaking. So it's not just about, it's mostly about our fire buddies, but it's not just about them, it's about their families. It's about the mom and the dad, it's about the siblings, and it's about saying, like, hey, I remember Kurt had said one time, he's like, how many times have we passed Julieta's house and we don't even realize how bad off they are? And so it's like that. We see you, we're not driving past the house not knowing how bad you are anymore. Like, we're gonna join you. Yes. We're gonna join you in this. And my very outlandish goal is to have Project Fire Buddies in every single state, but every single town, before him and I are like getting older and pass it off. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's my goal. That's a really hefty goal.
Oh,
but
listen, I guarantee you guys can do it.
I'll settle for all 50 states.
From where you started to where you are now.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
Definitely possible, because like you guys are, you're putting good in, you're getting good back, and people are drawn to this.
Yeah, I hope
I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah.
Because like, I after interviewing him, I'm like, Kurt, whatever I can do to help, please, because you're gonna regret saying that. I'm like, I promise you, I'm not gonna regret that, because like, when he told me, how do you buy hope, and how need more good days, like it just hit me right in my heart, and I'm like, it's so true. And like after my shooting, I'm like, I can't do another normal job anymore. Like I have to do something with fulfillment. I have to do something that I need to give back. I need.
It was like your coming to Christ moment.
Beyond, because there's no way I should be alive to this day to be with my wife, with my kid, and my mom, and my dad, and my brother not losing their son.
Yeah.
Because how is it that seeing a police officer come to your door in the middle of the night, my brother was the first one notified because I made him the first notification. What did it put on him? What did I do to my brother? What did I do to my family? Like, and God saved me for a reason. And he's probably drinking and he's probably not trying to make eye contact because he's trying not to get emotional over there.
Yeah, I'm getting emotional. I mean, Kurt told me your story.
But it's just, God has a plan for you. And I said this in the past 2 interviews, like, you are on a path. You're on your own, you're on your own journey.
Yeah.
And just because God puts something in your obstacle in your way doesn't mean he's doing it intentionally. He's trying to teach you something.
Very true.
So
he's the father of all fathers.
Right.
And that's what he does. He disciplines the ones that he loves and he guides you into the right path.
Because
he doesn't
has
mess
so
with
much
your free
for
will.
you.
Yeah, and you have free will. So but he loves you so much. He's like, I've got something better for you.
But think about all the hardship you had growing up, not growing up, but like starting a family young.
Yeah.
To raise a child at 18, 19 years old. Mm-hmm. I could imagine it at 18, 19, not a chance. I was immature.
Yeah.
But like those struggles built you to who you are today to handle what you have to handle today.
Absolutely.
And I believe that with all my heart.
Yep.
All my heart.
Yep.
Sorry, we got sidetracked.
Oh my God, I love it. His sidetracks are really good too.
I also have ADD too, so two of us together, it's gonna be a wicked interview. I'm excited.
People are always like, oh, people throw that around. Now they're like watching me after a while, and they're like, oh no, she's really good. Told ya.
So, how is Project Fire Buddies for like you and your family? Because I saw the interview with your son, or not interview. I saw the video of the gala last year when your son gave his speech, and it moved
that tearjerker.
Oh,
I didn't even know he was doing that. Kurt didn't know he was doing that. I don't know. Maybe Bridget and Kit were the only two who knew he was doing it. I had no clue. He is the best father in the world. When I say best, people mistakenly go off to like unrealistic expectations. He is a great father, meaning him and I both made mistakes, but we never stopped trying to be better, and our heart was always in the right place.
Right.
And that is how he is as a father. He was not standoffish. He was, okay, babe, what do you need? He called me the quarterback of the house. So I'm like, schedule here. Okay, you do this, I do that. And now it's funny because now we're at the office and I'm like, okay, babe, what are we doing? And he's like, schedule this, like, and it's opposite at the office, and it's actually sort of cute. It's nice. It's like very equal. And
give and take.
Yeah.
Because what do you guys?
Because he's the quarterback of the organization.
Well, you guys are a team.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you're only as strong as your weakest link. So
yes. And honestly, but him and I are better together. We always have been. He is. I don't know. I'm just very proud of him.
As you should
I get like emotional sometimes, like especially like when we're in this big place because he calls him, and you'll hear it. He calls himself a dumb firefighter. I'm like, you're not a dumb firefighter. He goes like, I don't mean it like that. He's like, I mean, I'm like a blue collar, work with your hands kind of guy. I'm not made for like rocket scientists or for an organization. I'm like, God qualifies the call, or God does not call the qualified, he qualifies the called. And in fact, he does his greatest works through those who everybody thought couldn't do it.
Right.
So there you go. And I'm like, and all you have to do is ask, and you asked.
Right. Well, self-talk I think is huge too. I'm also very hard on myself too. And like, I always say, I'm like, oh, sorry, like to Carrie, like we're doing podcast stuff, like I don't know how to run a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know the first thing about any of it. And I'm like, oh, sorry, dude, I'm dumb. He's like, stop saying that.
Yes.
Because you're going to believe it.
Yes.
And your words have power. And I do believe that with all my heart.
Amen. I like that.
So it's like, you know
I agree.
Clean up your self-talk. Like, how do you talk to yourself?
Yeah.
How do you talk to yourself when things get hard, when things get stressful in your marriage, in your work life, and in general? Like, how are you talking to yourself? Because that's what's going to get you through it. Mm-hmm. So instead of thinking like, oh, I'm an idiot, or this isn't working, well, try another path, just like you said. Backtrack to what you said. All right, A, B didn't work. Let's try C.
Yeah.
If C doesn't work, fuck it. We'll go to fucking D, E. I don't care. We'll go all the way to Z, and we'll go back again.
You know what I think it is too, that now that you brought that up, so it's problem solving. So back in the 90s, like way back when, we had a problem solve, and we didn't have, like, we would finally know what Eddie Vedder was saying when the tape came out.
Eddie Vedder,
but like like we'd finally, because he's like, and I'm like, what is he saying? But we didn't have like the cheat codes, and all you have to do is Google how to get past this part. So the kids nowadays, they don't know how to problem solve as much. So I always do that with my kids. I'm like, I mean, still, they're like I said, I told you their ages earlier. They're in their 20s. So I say to them, honey buns, problem solve.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell me the answer? Problem solve.
Problem solve.
Because they're in a different generation than me. It doesn't make them stupid. It doesn't make us parents bad.
Right.
They're in a different generation where they have every answer they want at their disposal.
Right.
And they're like, oh, hold on, I can tell. So that doesn't teach them how to problem solve. Where before you're like, okay, we have to figure this out.
Right.
How do I figure this out? Okay, A, B, C didn't work. Okay, let's D. You want to hightail it to F, or do you want to start at E? Like,
Right.
you know,
Right.
they don't have those. They don't have as honed of skills in that area.
Right.
So,
well, technology.
yeah, that's what I feel like. That is, technology.
We're gonna go off on a little sidetrack because you said Eddie Vedder. I actually met Eddie Vedder.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was in the Coast Guard, I was
my
stationed at
gosh.
Southside, and it was when the Cubs were in the World Series, not the World Series, the playoffs before they won the World Series, when we
Okay.
lost to the
Yep,
Mets.
yep.
Our station got invited out to do the flag ceremony. So I held the American flag, and I actually got to go out on Wrigley Field and stand there for the national anthem before they played the playoff game.
Oh, that is
And
so cool.
I got to meet Eddie Vedder. Yeah, he gave us a guitar pick and everything. He was a really good
That
dude.
is so cool.
Really
That
good
is
dude.
so-
So you brought up like, I know Eddie Vedder.
You're like, I
met
know
him.
that guy.
I
know
met him
that
once.
guy. Yeah.
Shook his hand. We're best friends. Not to brag.
Yeah.
Good old
Can
Eddie
you
and
tell him
I.
to enunciate when he sings?
Bro, you're killing me with it. Yeah. Him and Creed.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it would be like, yeah, Creed too. But it was like, their beats and their sounds and their voices were just, I don't know, they were magnetic. They were beautiful.
Oh,
it's just don't without your tape and the words to each song,
Yep.
don't try to do it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what is your role with Project Fire Buddies?
It's sort of big. So Kurt
I'm
and
sure
I,
it spans.
Kurt and I onboard the children together. So there's onboarding chapters, there's swag, there's design, there's a whole bunch of different
Facets of the organization. Yeah.
parts of the organization. And I work the closest under Kurt. So that would be actually Ryan. Like, he's the COO, but like I go directly to Kurt is what I should say, because we onboard the kids. So when somebody nominates a child, it goes to me. When they fill out the form, it bounces to me. I send it to Laura. Laura sends it. Laura and the medical team look over it, send it back with a full explanation to me. I then am like spreadsheeting everything and have this like list. So when I do get to talk to Kurt that day, okay, this one needs to be onboarded. This one was a denial, like you said, but he's got to call all of them equally. So the only time there's ever denial is when it's hard to deny. Like I've heard him on those calls, and it's like I feel so bad for
it's like
him,
heartbreaking,
well, because you
right.
feel bad for both parties.
Because you
You're
want to
like,
help out every kid you can, but it's just not possible.
But there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference between chronic and, not a huge difference between chronic and critical.
Right.
So there's like some kids that skirt the line.
Skirt
So
the
like
line.
9 times out of 10 we put it on critical, but a lot of time, like autism by itself is not a critical illness, meaning they're
Right.
not going to die of it.
Right.
So, or there's not a chance for them to die from it. So it's just autism. So we usually, those are like, no. But one day we hope to have, oh my gosh, so much money.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
if you
much
could,
money.
I guarantee you guys would.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. That's exactly it.
Right. So what is probably one of the best moments? Do you have one moment with Project Fire Buddies that sticks out above the rest?
One that touched my heart was we had an old fire buddy, and I remember I met them. I forgot how I met them, but I met them. We were at some event, and I met them, and their son had DIPG, I believe, and it was a totally different town. They were a fire buddy, but like he wasn't going to make it long enough, and then the chapter just got onboarded, so Kurt and I did the heavy lifting with that. Well, we got talking, and they were Catholic, and I'm like, hey, I'm a Eucharistic minister, so on Sundays, I would get to go visit them and bring them communion. So that was very, very special. And then it was hard because I would see, but I would just sit there and talk with them for a couple hours about all kinds of things. Like they'd like talking religion, so we talk about it and stuff like that. So that's one that touched my heart that I felt like very honored. I felt honored and humbled. As far as fun and funny ones, there's quite a few of those. Like there is like Kurt and I, Isla Dorsey, she was from Orleans. We had this like big thing to give her, big thing. It has like all the computer games on it. It's like big. And she was going through treatment, and it's a big table at her house. And then we sat there and played Candyland with her. That was really sweet and cute. And I love Danielle, her mom. She's like she's a very nice lady. So we had a lot of fun there. But when it comes to like people that like stick right there, I would definitely say the Halix, Noah. Because they made us they didn't even just make Kurt a part of the family, they made my family a part of their family. So they mean the world to me, and it was the first time that we had ever encountered or we were able to get that close or be that close with somebody at such a bad time. Noah had DIPG and ended up passing. And then there's Rudra, who was Hatash from Oak Forest's brother. Hatash had DIPG, and it was right after Noah. And we went there, and I was reading to him, and Kurt was talking with the parents. And Rudra, I would play with him in the background, and I still love that kid and think about him and pray for him every single night. I love him. Him and I connected, like, I raised 2 boys, so like him and I like connected, and like, I don't know. I just love that kid, and he's in my heart almost 24/7. Like, I'll just think about him out of the blue, and I'll pray for him. I'm like, God, keep that kid,
Please keep him,
bless that boy, and because he doesn't have his brother anymore. But they were such a beautiful family too. There's a lot of good times and smiles and fun, but just too many to count.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, you and Kurt are not the only ones in your family that participate and work with Project Fire Buddies. Your children do as well.
My children do as well, and his siblings have helped a couple times, and his nephew, and there's been plenty of times. And then our friends from high school, like different this, different that. They come in, they come help, and
So how is it as a mother to see your children like dive in head first and want to be a part of this organization?
It humbled. Very, very humble. Like I said, I'm not perfect. Kurt's not perfect. Nobody's perfect.
No one's
and every parent knows their own flaws, and every parent knows how hard they tried, and every parent knows how big. So when you see it come to fruition like that, and all 3 are very, very interested, it's like, and they're like putting other people ahead of themselves. It's everything you prayed for the entire time you were raising them. So very humbling, and I feel very blessed.
Oh, absolutely. And you and Kurt are phenomenal people, and you guys raised amazing children. Amazing. Because I listened to your son's speech, and his words were moving to me. I know exactly where I was. I was in my backyard. It was a hot day. I was about to cut my grass, and I was picking up my dog's poop. And I'm like, I have to sit down. I'm like, this is getting me. Yeah, it's pretty shitty. And I was like, Kurt's kids making me cry. I'm like, God, this is horrible.
I know. Me and him, he didn't know what to do, so he sort of ended up talking a lot. He's like, he sort of got jumbled because he was. Oh man, that touches heart big.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, honestly, your t-shirts are the best quality.
Oh, they're so comfortable.
The best quality.
Yeah, I sleep in them. I mean, like, I'll go home and like I'll end up sleeping in my t-shirt. I'll put my pajama pants on, but because they're soft and they're so. Oh, I'm sorry.
The best. Oh. It's all right. Kurt hooked us up with because we were doing merch, and I was like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "Can't tell you, it's a trade secret." He told us afterwards. I was like, "100% getting that shirt." 100%. And then only shirts I honestly, truly, you could ask my wife. Like, I wear my podcast stuff, and then I wear your Project Fire Buddies.
It's so soft.
But honestly, like, I love because I want to rep Project Fire Buddies too.
Yeah.
Because like,
oh, thank you.
Oh, 100%. Because like, I'll be at the gym, and people are like, "Oh, what's Project Fire Buddies?" I'm like, "Oh, how much time do you have?" Because I'm about to tell you all about Project Fire Buddies because it's such a great organization, and people need to hear about it. I mean, it's just, you guys do such good work. And
for good people that are really struggling, like, like 100%. Really, I mean, mentally.
Kids, one of the most innocent things in the world are just young children. They didn't ask for any of this. They
didn't ask to be born. They didn't ask for anything. They didn't ask, they just want to be loved and give you smiles when they're first born and all this stuff. And
and then their
and
ability
they're going through
fight.
actual hell.
Yes, and their ability to fight and keep going. It's so inspirational to me.
It is. It is, and they I always think about it. I'm like, they complain way less than I would ever. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they're little tiny. Kurt says it's the best. They're little tiny heroes, and they're
Little
there.
tiny heroes.
There's so much special about them. There's so much light and smiles and all this stuff, but they're also there to remind us, like, keep going and to be an example. A child will lead them all. Like, they're examples to us, and they're amazing.
If you want some motivation,
Yeah.
look to those kids. Those kids,
Absolutely.
whatever
Yeah.
you're going through in life, they will get you through it. And just take some inspiration from them.
Yeah.
And like your logo, like there's a little child over there in your guys' background where
Yeah.
he's got his hands on his hips and he's got a cape and a fire helmet. Like that's legit. Like they are superheroes.
They really are, and they're so sweet, and they're so funny.
the things
Some
that
of
they
the-
say.
Yes, it's oh gosh.
Was it a show or something? The kids say the darndest things.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love listening to kids talk. It is the best thing in the whole world. It's the best comic relief ever.
Because they're pure. They haven't been jaded by the world yet.
Yeah.
And you know,
Again, setting an example for us to remember. Yeah.
and we forget it. My son, I don't know if Curtis told you, my son has Down syndrome.
No, I did not know that.
So he's 7 years old, and sometimes like I get caught up in my own stuff that I got going on, and I'm like, and I look at him, and he's just happy. Just, you know, of course, like, listen, guys, kids with Down syndrome, they have bad days too. Like, they're very super sassy. Yeah. My dad taught him how to say F you, like the Italian, and then he does it to school, and they're like, he's saying thank you.
He's got an itch.
Yeah, he's saying thank you. He's saying thank you. But like, he's just the light of my life. And I mean, honestly and truthfully, like, he's probably one of the biggest reasons why I am still here today, because he kept me fighting that night of like my worst night of my life. Like, he kept me fighting to keep breathing for my kid. So
that's beautiful.
I see him and just so much joy. He's happy. Like, and when he sees his friends or he sees his cousins, he just runs up, and everything else doesn't matter in this world. And you're just like, that's what it's about.
It is.
That's what it's about. It's not, what am I going to do next week? What am I going to do for dinner tomorrow? How are we going to pay the bills? It's like, stop and
enjoy
smell
the moment.
the roses. Take that time. Smell the roses.
Perfectly said.
Oh, it's the best.
Perfectly said. Honestly, kids.
The greatest joy. The greatest gift on earth, honestly, for you in your life.
The greatest gift. They'll be a mirror. They'll humble you.
Yes.
I mean, because they're a mirror of you. Like, so they'll humble you. But it's the humbling that you always needed. It's what you need for growth and accountability, and it's what you need. So while you're teaching them, they're also teaching you if you allow them to do so. So I learned that. I told Kurt, I'm like, hey, we know a lot now. Let's go back and have more kids. We're way too old. Yeah, no, we're way too old to do that now. But I'm like, wouldn't it be nice if we could just like go back and know what we know now?
No.
Like, yeah.
But honestly, you had to go through that.
You
right?
did. You
had
did.
to go through that because you wouldn't know what you know now if you didn't have to go through what you had to go through.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Kelly,
it was really nice talking to you.
Anything else you want to say before we take off?
Thanks for putting up with my squirrels.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, honestly, and thank you for everything you do. Thank you so much, because these kids, you guys are filling such a big void that needs to be filled.
Thank you.
guys, and like I said this before, turn on the news. You'll see how much chaos, how much bullshit.
Yeah, they don't advertise any of the good behind the scenes.
This is what you need, more good.
Whispers. Yep, God whispers.
Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Well, we've already had you on the show, brother.
Yeah.
But for you guys that don't know who this is Kurt DeGroot. He is the CEO and founder of Project Fire Buddies. If you haven't checked out his episode, you want to hear his full-length episode, check out episode 21.
It's very short.
Phenomenal. I think it was, 2 hours?
Yeah, right.
We could probably went longer, too. But
oh, man.
Dude, it was a good time, though. Did you have a good fun?
Great time. I couldn't believe how long it went. I looked at my phone. I'm like, look at what the time
flies.
And I'm like, dude, it is. When you're excited and you're telling a good story.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever told you this, but before we were in talks with having you on, I think we missed our first date or something like that. It was our fault.
Yeah.
I was driving home, and I live in unincorporated. You see where I live.
Yeah.
And there's no sidewalks coming up to my neighborhood. And I saw a kid walking down the street in a Project Fire Buddies shirt. I'm like, that's on a sign. I don't know what is, brother.
That's awesome.
I love that. So you, right now, is this probably one of the busiest times of the year for you?
Christmas and this time. You know, it goes right in from Christmas to this time, right?
Okay.
Like, obviously, Kelly gets inundated even worse, right?
Oh, for sure.
But those are good problems to have.
Oh, brother,
You know?
absolutely. I bet your phone's been running off the hook, like probably a few weeks even before this even starts.
Months before.
Oh,
yes,
God.
but I'm not complaining.
Right.
Like most nonprofits fail in the first couple years.
Yeah.
And what a blessing it is to have these problems.
Right.
So I don't even like to look at them as problems. You know, when we get faced with anything in the organization, it could be like, oh, this feels like the worst thing. Oh, you know, personalities, situations.
Right.
This feels like the worst thing. But what I've noticed is every time I feel like it's God challenging us. Right. Are we going to grow with this?
Right.
Are we going to learn how to get past this situation, this speed bump? Because if we can, and if there's any kind of fractures in the foundation and we can repair them, then we're going to keep growing.
Right.
And if we don't learn, then we plateau.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you keep getting the same lesson over until you learn the lesson that he wants you to learn.
100%.
And that's the truth, brother. It really is.
Yeah.
So for you guys that are tuning in or just caught in late, but we are at the Project Fire Buddies Gala, the setup. How special is the gala for you?
So the gala is an over-emotional day.
Yeah.
I'm getting emotional right now. It's a very emotional day because when our first gala that we had, I remember having so much anxiety because I'm like, you know what, we need to do a gala. And all larger nonprofits do galas.
Yeah.
Or whatever they decide to call it, right? And they do them, and I watched how they lay it out and they do it. And a lot of times the tickets, if people don't know, the tickets for like your standard gala is $500, $700, $1,000 a ticket.
Right.
And you get it, it's a fundraiser, right?
Right, 100%.
Like you got to raise funds for the mission. And I understand it, but like everything and every approach I take when I research every nonprofit and try to understand what they're doing well and what they're doing wrong. In my mind, they think they're doing everything right and they're probably doing it in their world. For us, I look at it and I'm like, okay, well, I'm a blue collar guy. How many of my friends are blue collar? I have friends that are white collar too. But my blue collar guys aren't going to galas.
Right.
They can't afford to go.
Right.
It's what it is.
Right. I could imagine floating $1,000 ticket. Not a chance.
No, there's no way. So how do I open the door to hit the blue collar and also the white collar?
Yeah.
But then I change it around a little more. When you look at children's nonprofits, they usually feature a family, maybe two families.
Yeah.
And I hate that. Let's not do that. So what we do is we give $36,000 in tickets to our Fire Buddy families.
Love
and
it.
Because it's not just a fundraiser.
Right.
It's not just a gala. It's a mission activity.
Yeah.
Because these kids, these parents, now the parents they can choose, hey, mom and dad just need a night out.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not mad about it.
Absolutely.
Do it. Kids want to come, bring them.
Yeah.
I love it either way, but we're going to work with it, you know? So we got a room filled with the mission. We got a room filled with the heart of the mission, which are all the laborers, right?
Yeah.
The firefighters, the police, the public works, skilled trades, anything. They're filled in here. And then we got our white collar as well. Like, let's hit it. Let's check every box. Like when we look at our raffles, when we look at our silent auction, we look at all that stuff. We don't just get things that are just for one set of people at all. I try to hit it from every angle because I want everyone to feel like they're included.
Yeah.
And they're excited about something. And that's the whole point of it. Like,
oh, brother, absolutely. And you're hitting the nail on the head. Like, I'm looking around, like, you guys, this place is massive.
Well, for sure. It's
massive.
The entire convention.
And there's tables as far as I can see on this side, and then there's stuff on that side. And
it's a sea of tables.
We literally have a fire truck inside the convention.
Yes, right. Right. The first one, yeah, okay, so I went off track, but the first one I was so anxious because I didn't think anybody would come.
Right.
I'm like, are people going to come? And then we sold out immediately.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, what a blessing this is. And then when we sat with the convention center, who's been great, like they've been great. I remember sitting down and they're like, okay, what do you want? What are you going to do? And I'm like, yeah, and we're going to bring a fire engine inside. And they're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, we're doing it. And they're
100%.
like, okay.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm like, I'm just going to throw it at the wall and see if it sticks.
100%,
you know?
brother. Yeah.
And it did. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, we got our celebrity, Matthew Willig here.
Matthew Willig. How's it going, brother?
Are we on camera?
We are.
Yes.
We're live.
How are you, bud?
What's going on? Nobody's listening.
Yes.
What are you talking about? Should I come back in next segment?
You know what? I'm taller than you now. No, right. Yeah, right.
I'll come back in later.
Yeah, are you cool with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want him to just jump in right now?
No, I'll come back in.
Yeah, whenever he's ready. We'll do you, and then we'll jump in with
You
him.
bring me in.
Okay, give me.
Later, everybody.
We'll do it. So Matt's been a supporter since the beginning. He was in the movie We're the Millers. He was
Right.
Andre the Giant in The Young Rock.
Okay.
I mean, the guy, if you watch Dexter, he was the guy who almost killed Dexter, right? Like he was the bad guy that almost got. He always plays a bad guy in every role.
Right.
He's also in the new Star
But also a super nice guy.
Dude, he went on a Fire Buddy visit with us yesterday.
No way. How was that?
He came in, he flies in from LA to come to this.
Okay.
And he flew in last night, and he's like, hey, I'm going to fly in a day early. Is there a way I can jump on a Fire Buddy visit?
Yeah.
And he did, and he loved it. The kid loved it. Like, it was,
Oh,
it's awesome. You know, and you got a guy who always plays a bad guy, but has the biggest heart in the world.
Yeah.
He embraces this.
I love it, brother.
He's
Dude.
also a Super Bowl champ.
Oh, let's
He
go.
was 15 years in the NFL, so.
Hey, that's awesome. And
yeah.
that actually, because it's like you hear about some celebrities, you hear about some people, and they turn out to be like horrible people. But
there's a lot.
And then you get someone like that who flies
sure.
in from LA to help, support such a great foundation. Like,
Yeah.
there is hope for humanity, brother.
Oh, there is, because I'm not going to bash anybody, but anytime celebrities appear anywhere, there's a cost that comes with it.
Right.
And it's not a traditional cost. It's an obnoxious cost. And all the celebrities that come here, there's no cost.
Yeah.
They do it to refill their cup because they're passionate about it.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing. That's why I get so excited about the guys that come to this, and they're
100%.
awesome.
You mentioned that, right? I just talked to 3 people of your organization, and they're just all amazing people.
Yeah,
Amazing people.
They are.
How is that for you, brother? Like, the organization that you started and people working, to make this the biggest and best thing they possibly can. Like, how is that for you?
So it's not me, man. It's the man upstairs, right? I'm in cruise control. He's fueling the mission, right?
Yeah.
That's it. He'll guide me, wherever God guides, he provides, right? Like, and that's it. It's on my wall at home. So that way I don't ever question it. Just keep on going, I know at the other episode, I'm real big on glass ceilings.
Yeah.
I love the glass ceilings. Let's blow through them.
100%.
I love blowing through them, and let's see how we can make this happen with every step. But then you have our people that are just, they pour their heart out on everything. And it's no different than when we're raising kids and we're saying, hey, if you hang around with 5 losers, you're going to be the 6th. If you hang around with 5 bad influences, you're going to be the 6th. We surround ourselves with a lot more than 5, but good-hearted, good people with a good moral compass. You're going to be the next one. 100%. And that's all we surround ourselves in. So when we look at these nonprofits, we're a national nonprofit now, and there's 2 million nonprofits in the world. I mean, in the United States alone, 2 million. Okay, and when you look at that and you surround yourself with that, I'm not the traditional CEO.
Right.
I'll never claim that I am, but because of that, and everybody underneath me in those roles aren't the traditional person in those roles. But that's why this works.
Yeah.
With the 2 million nonprofits in the U.S., Project Fire Buddies sits in the top 4%. And then when we talk numbers, right? Because nonprofits, it's numbers. It's always
100%.
numbers. And people don't like it because that's where nonprofits get a black eye.
Right.
And why did they get a black eye? They should get a black eye.
Right.
I'm going to be raw.
Probably
Let's
because
be
we're
honest.
doing some shady things.
For sure. And when we look at it, the IRS, Uncle Sam says, you know what? If 60% of your money goes to the mission, you're doing a good job. Thumbs up, keep up the good work. Keep doing that. Project Fire Buddies, we look at 60%, we're like, this is awful.
Right.
This is awful. 60 cents of every dollar is only going to the mission.
Right.
This is awful. So we elevated ourselves. And the only way we can elevate ourselves is if all of the people that are part of it that run this are backing the same mentality, right?
Right.
Every single person it does not get anything that they deserve.
Right.
Because the kids do.
Right.
And that's the focus. Mission first, right?
100%.
So with that, since we're in the top 4%, what's in the top 4%? Those are universities. Those are large charity organization that you see on the cereal boxes and stuff like that. All of that. So in that top 4%, we sit in the top 1% of the 4% of money that goes to the mission. And I am so proud of it. Now, it changes every year, but I'm proud to say that 89 cents of every dollar this last year went to the mission.
Yeah.
89 cents of every dollar
Huge.
went to the mission. Because there's always the other fees, the Netflix fees, the nonsensical, not to say nonsensical, there's a cost of doing business, but there is.
And that's just the way the world works.
Yeah, you got to pay for internet, you got to pay for the computer programs.
The overheads,
all this stuff. But that comes off, so you got to find the balance.
Right.
And we're blessed to have the supporters we do. We're blessed to have all of these things. And when we have supporters and people that donate, and when people go to our swag store, pfbswag.com.
What was it again?
pfbswag.com.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, in case you didn't hear.
Yeah. T-shirts and stuff?
Yeah,
Sweatshirts?
T-shirt, all
hats,
much. Yeah, the
stickers,
best stuff.
mugs?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So when you do that, and you go there and you spend that money, not only are you getting a quality item, or you're making a quality donation, realize that we're making the right decision on using those funds. We're making an impact, and it's not this generalized impact. You can go on our social media, you'll see the direct impact that we're making. You'll see the firefighters out there making that impact with those kids. Because at the end of the day, it's not about Kurt DeGroot, it's not about Kelly, it's not about anybody else.
Right.
It's about the mission.
And the kids, 100%. And like you said it best, brother, because it's like, if you could help every single kid that applies, you definitely would, and I know you would, but that's why you have to, and that's why you guys I'm getting tongue-tied, but that's why you guys strive so much to keep that overhead low and to stay in that top 4%.
For sure.
Because that way you can give back as much as you can. Because Kelly was just talking about the backpacks, and she wished she could. Sorry, guys. Own world in their own world. You guys wish you could start bring that back, the backpack program, because she told the story about when you guys first started out 18, 19 years old, and your kid was going to school and you couldn't afford to buy the school supplies. That hit home for me because my dad worked. I barely saw my dad. He would go to work and he had 3 kids, make $50,000. Yeah. I was getting hand-me-downs, and
for sure.
But you know what? That made me who I am too. Yeah. But just you guys do so much good, and it's just such a great
organization. That Midwest work ethic, right?
Brother,
that's
it.
I
love it. I love it. Yeah. I'm a huge Project Buddies fan.
Yeah, it was a very early on for us. It was very difficult. We were kids with kids.
Right.
Let's be honest, and we realized early on that if we're going to work hard at anything we do, but the main thing is that personally. We focus on our family, right?
Yeah.
It's the relationship.
Yes.
We realize that the marriage takes 2 parties full time,
right? And
it's sacrifice all the time. But once you are comfortable with that and you adapt to that, everything else you do is going to be easier. And I was blessed because I did find the woman that is the yin to my yang, right? She is so good at X, Y, and Z, and I'm so good at A, B, and C, right? And together we make this cool little superhuman in our world, right?
Right.
And that's awesome. Is there conflicts? Of course, but we know how to address them and how to adapt to them.
Right. Communication. And so you're talking about your kids, right? So you and your wife, you guys are fully in Project Fire Buddies.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, now your kids are in Project Fire Buddies. How is that as a parent? I asked your wife the same question. I want to ask you that question. How is it for you as a father, seeing your kids just dive in headfirst into your organization? Did I get you on that one?
Yeah, you did.
Sorry,
you did. My son, my youngest son, came out and did this big speech at the last gala and surprised me. And then I started listening to my daughter and my oldest son and their take on it, because you never ask. They just always showed up.
Yeah.
And they showed up on all situations whenever we needed it. They sacrificed themselves. They sacrificed at their Christmases. And to them, they never looked at it as a sacrifice.
Yeah.
They looked at it as that was the right thing to do. And then to see them taking off today, my daughter took off at work to be here for this setup.
Yeah.
To help, to still be a laborer, right? She's still so passionate, and they're all in. I know my youngest is in college, and he comes in from out of town, and he shows up at the office. What do you need?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you. We need to vacuum, right? And he's
right.
like, okay. And he starts vacuuming. Vacuuming shouldn't refill your cup, but it does.
It does.
and they're better people than I could ever be.
Oh,
you know,
brother, they wouldn't be who they are because if it wasn't for you and Kelly. I mean, I talked to you and I said this, like, I'm pretty good at reading people from my job skills, from what I've learned in law enforcement.
Sure.
I know who are good people, who are not good people. I can hear it in your voice. I can see it in your face, in your eyes, and I saw it with your wife too. Like, you guys are good people. You raised phenomenal children. You should be a very proud father, and I know you are, bro.
Oh yeah,
I know you
I'm
are.
so proud of all three of them. I got a grandbaby coming, so.
Let's go,
yes,
buddy.
yes. My oldest son, he moved back. I'm so excited for him, and his name's Curtis in Kyra, and they moved 5 blocks away from us.
Oh, life is good,
yeah,
brother.
they got a granddaughter.
5 blocks away.
Yeah.
Listen to me. That's probably so. My parents moved next door to my grandparents, and when my brother was younger, and he would always go next door.
Yeah.
You know, like he'd be like, "Mom, can I have a popsicle?" And she'd be like, "No." He would go next door and
Of
go
course.
to Nana Papa and get the popsicle.
Yes. I already told them. I'm like, I already found tactical diaper bags. I'm like, I am stealing the child, just so you know. I go, it's not kidnapping if you know about it. So I am taking the child, you know, and they're laughing, and I'm like, no, I already.
I'm not kidding.
I got my own car seat I'm getting, and now Kelly's like competing with me. She's like, no, that's my granddaughter. I'm like, no, not gonna happen.
Brother, I see how my parents are with my nieces and nephews, with my son. It's like the light of their life, and you're gonna be you're a fantastic father. You're gonna be a fantastic grandfather, and I know that for a
I
fact.
miss them being young, so
Yes.
I'm so excited about it. When I first heard about it, my son's like, he's like, hey, look at. He called me. He texted me at 11:30 at night at the firehouse. He's like, you got a couple minutes? And I'm like, 11:30 at night, saying I got a couple minutes. I'm like, oh boy.
Something bad happened?
Yeah, what's going on?
Right.
And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, hey, check your phone. I just sent you a text. And he sent me a text of a pregnancy test with a onesie.
Oh,
and he's like,
we're all there.
are you mad? And I go, mad? I go, I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Like, no, we're so pumped. And obviously we didn't know if it was a boy or girl, but I'm like, I already had things set up. Like, okay, if it's a boy, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna coach this team. I'm gonna do this team. I'm gonna say, if it's a girl, I'm looking to do this team and this. You know, like I already had this whole like diagram filled out. And then Kelly's like, you need to relax. And I'm like, all right. I don't want to be too overbearing, but I'm going to be.
I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Listen, brother, you have every right to be. You have every right to be.
Good.
That's awesome.
It's
brother.
good stuff.
Congrats, man. That's awesome. And how old's your oldest son right now?
27. Yep.
It's that time, brother.
Yeah. He's
It's that
very
time.
successful. He does
Good
good
for
job.
him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Good
not
kid.
surprised whatsoever, brother.
Very successful.
I'm really not surprised whatsoever. So tomorrow, how is that day going to be for you?
Tomorrow is so Gala Day is so many emotions.
Yeah.
It's overloaded. 1,500 people in the same room that are all celebrating this mission. It is the most humbling experience to see it, to get out there. We always do little surprises here and there. We change things up a little bit here and there, and that's the excitement, right? And the excitement of just seeing everybody coming in to celebrate these kids. And then when you watch the kids out on the dance floor, they're hanging out with their family, they're hanging out with the firefighters, and it's always such a good time, you know.
Oh, brother,
such a blessing.
I bet it's one of those moments you get to sit back and just take it all in.
Yeah, it's a sea of people.
Yeah,
like you just see people for everywhere, you know.
All for a great foundation.
Yeah.
All for a great cause, brother. All for a great cause. So I'm gonna ask you a question now. Out of all these years you've been doing this, is there one moment or particular case that sticks out to you that's probably been, where the, I don't say the goodest or the best, but like, what's one moment that sticks out to you out of everything that you've created?
There are hundreds of those moments.
Oh, I bet, brother.
So I know the Kendall Coyne, Michael Schofield story is a big one.
Right.
Because I felt that we realized what we were doing was the right thing.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, dude, I'm going to tell the story at the gala. One of the very recent ones. We got a chapter out in Pennsylvania, and I love this story because it has nothing to do with me.
Right.
It's a beautiful story.
You're a very humble guy.
You could see the impact.
Yeah.
Our Pennsylvania chapter, teenager battling cancer. Mom's at the hospital with the teenager. Dad and the 2 brothers go home for the night.
Yeah.
Mom stays up there. This is the case for so many of our kids. While Dad and the 2 boys go home, they die in a fire.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So Mom and the child that's battling cancer survived because he's battling cancer in the hospital.
Right.
Your world is lost because your child's battling cancer. And now that mother just lost the rest of her family. So her son is battling cancer, things start looking up, then things go south. All throughout this time, because this young man is stuck in the hospital, these firefighters are driving 45 minutes to the hospital to spend time because they're not going to wait till he comes home.
Right.
They're going to make the impact now.
Right.
So they're going up there, they're playing video games with him in the hospital room. They're creating such bonds with this young man and the mom and helping her out and doing everything they can, running her stuff up.
Yeah.
Like, that's Project Fire Buddies at its finest.
Oh, absolutely.
And then we wanted to send this young man on this trip for when he came out of the hospital. Unfortunately, he never made it out. So these firefighters were there on that last day. And they were the pallbearers at this funeral. That's how much of an impact that they made to this family. That's the true honor. Like, if you've ever been a pallbearer and you've been asked, right? Like, you had the honor of doing that, and that's Project Fire Buddies. That's what it is. It's not just bringing a gift, dropping it off, shipping a gift, writing a check. That's it.
Yeah.
The amount of labor hours that they put. So that's a huge thing. We also had another chapter in Illinois that during Christmas, their newer fire buddy had to be stuck at St. Jude's Hospital. They called me and asked if they could use the Project Fire Buddies pickup truck to go to St. Jude. And they're like, I don't know, we're kind of worried because it's far. And I go, are you kidding me?
Right.
I go, take it, go.
Please.
And not only did they go, they collected notes from all the kids' classmates.
Brother.
And showed up at St. Jude's Hospital in the PFB pickup truck to go hang out with that child during Christmas, during their own family's Christmas.
Right.
Like,
I mean, as a firefighter and a first responder, like, how many holidays have you missed?
You miss so many just being a first responder.
Right, exactly. So to actually be able to make one with your family and decide to go spend it with a kid, that probably needs it the most, right?
For sure.
Brother.
Yeah, so those moments are just like, and you know what? They have nothing to do with me, and I love them because of that.
So
That's it.
You got a lot going on. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but what does Project Fire Buddies mean to you?
It's a way of life. That's it. You breathe, you bleed. Every thought is Project Fire Buddies in my family's life, and it's not just mine. It's every person in the organization. It's not a 9 to 5, 8 to 4. It's 24/7. Everything that's Fire Buddies, and it's making the impact to the most vulnerable in our community. Like, these kids deserve it, man. I mean, first responders, we are great in our own right, in our skilled trade, but we all chose it.
Right.
These kids didn't choose this. As a world, this stuff that we're doing is what needs to happen across the board.
Across the board.
It's they're most vulnerable in our community. Why are we not supporting, backing them up in every step of the way?
Right.
So we're trying to do that.
They're just the purest thing, right?
Yeah.
They didn't ask for this.
No.
They have all their life to live. And I've said this in the past interviews, but like, it is true.
Yeah.
It is true. And what you guys are doing for these kids and for their family, for their extended family, and everyone, but not even just that, but like, also the guys that are involved, the men and women are involved at Project Fire Buddies that have Fire Buddies, they bring their families in, they bring their kids in, and brother, it's such a beautiful thing, and so much good it comes from it. It's just.
Actually, one of our offices at our office is the kids' office. So anybody wants to bring their family in while they're working, there's an arcade game in there, there's an Xbox or whatever, a TV. They got own desks and chairs, so the kids have like their own desks.
Yeah.
And the kids go to work. So if those kids are coming to Project Fire Buddies to work, they're wearing Project Fire Buddies swag, they're coming in, they're all proud, and they're doing their thing while mom and dad are working. What do you think they're going to do when they get older? They're going to do the same thing.
Put good back in this world.
That's it, man.
And that's what it's all about, brother, because this world is, you turn on the news, like we said time and time again.
It's toxic.
Yeah, it's toxic, but you guys put, you're that candle in that dark room, the darkest room ever. You guys are that candle.
Yeah.
100%, brother.
Hope so.
100%. And brother, I appreciate you. I appreciate you letting us come here and record live.
This is awesome.
Bro, I'm in love with it. This is awesome.
Yes.
You asked, I'm like, absolutely I will come.
Absolutely.
Because the world needs to know about this. More people need to know about Project Fire Buddies.
I agree.
More people need to know. So if people want to donate, people want to give back, where do they go?
So my biggest impact is our good day makers. You could get right off our website, projectfirebuddies.org. But our good day makers, a mother that lost a child that was within our organization, coined that term. When she was asked, what is Project Fire Buddies? She goes, they create more good days.
Yes.
So if you want to create more good days, you want to be a good day maker, it's our exclusive, it's monthly donations, right? And there's different tiers. Jump in and donate and become a good day maker.
Love it,
That's the impact. Sacrifice the coffee in the morning.
Yeah. Right.
Brew it yourself.
Right.
And make that commitment, and you're helping kids out every time you do it.
Well, it's also kind of cold out too, so if someone wants a sweatshirt, where would they go for that?
Oh, PFBswag.com.
Let's go, baby.
That's it. That's it. Most comfortable stuff around.
Oh, it is. I actually bought a sweatshirt. I have T-shirts. I rock
awesome.
your guys' stuff. If
Thank
I'm
you.
rocking my own stuff, I rock your guys' stuff. And anytime anyone asks me, I'm like, how much time you got? Because I'll tell you all about Project Fire Buddies, brother.
That's awesome.
So I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for what you do, brother.
Love you, buddy.
I love you, man. All right, my man.
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on. So go ahead and introduce yourself and
Hey
tell people
everyone
who you
out
are.
there, Matthew Willig, current actor in the entertainment world, former NFLer of 14 years, and what else? Super Bowl champion.
Super Bowl champ, yeah. That's what Kurt was saying.
Always got to say that.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
And try to be as humble as I can. Happy to be here, actually.
I love it, brother.
Yeah.
I love it. I appreciate you for jumping on the show, man.
No, it's my pleasure. I'm here, so
No,
it's I look forward to this time every year.
Yeah.
Ever since Kurt sort of reached out and I reached out to him, it was kind of the way this all started. It was that I just was a fan of theirs and what they were doing.
Right. So how'd you first hear about? So
Yeah.
was it Kurt reaching out to you?
No, I saw them on Instagram and just saw what they were doing. And I've always been growing up, I wanted to be a fireman.
Yeah.
So that kind of, I've always had an affinity. My dad was a police officer.
Oh, very cool.
So,
Where at?
LAPD.
Oh,
Yeah,
you had a hard
so
job, brother.
My dad was a badass.
Oh, yeah, he was.
So, I have a lot of respect, and I've always had that. And so when I saw them, what they were doing, I just kind of commented saying, hey, much love and support.
Yeah.
Then he reached out, and it turned out that he kind of knew of me and was kind of a small fan of mine and my work. And I just said, hey, if there's anything I can do. Then he called me, and I tried to help him out with getting in touch with somebody to help a kid.
Right.
Things like that. And then he said, hey, would you want to come out and to our gala? And it was funny because he said, I don't know what your status is or how much you require to come out,
Right,
that kind of thing, what your fee is,
Right.
so to speak. And I said, dude, it doesn't matter. I said, if you can get me out there, then I'll be there. And
100%.
that's how it started a couple of years ago. And, it's just, look, there's nothing negative about this. It's just all
brother.
love and all positive. And every time I come out, I love the feel. I love seeing the kids. I got in last night. I was here for about 5 minutes.
He said you jumped in on a visit.
And then
Let's go.
And that was why I came in early. I came in early because I wanted to do that. I wanted to experience that. Because look, for me to come in and be here is whatever. Some people enjoy meeting me and that kind of thing, but I wanted to feel that. I wanted to feel what they're doing. And so
100%.
to come in and do that, and this kid named Aaron, and I was kind of tired, kind of just got off a flight.
From flying from LA.
Yeah, I flew from LA, and
it's a long flight.
But within minutes of seeing this kid and his energy and his love and his his excitement for all the guys that were there. It filled me up right away. It was beautiful, and the kid was awesome. It's funny because I see some of these kids sometimes, and God love them, they're battling everything. But they become little bosses.
Oh, sassy.
He said, "No, you stand right here and help me open every present." And I was like, "Okay,
sir, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, yes, sir.
exactly." So, he was just an awesome little kid, and so I was really happy to get to experience something like that because that's what these guys are doing, man.
Yeah.
And it almost, I likened it to, these firemen are out there, they're busting their butts on the line, and for them to spend their off time or their few minutes.
Right, because a lot of those guys have jobs too.
Absolutely.
Side jobs.
Absolutely.
They're construction
So
electricians.
it was just like me getting in and going, no, I really don't want to go, but let me get, that kind of thing. And so you sacrifice. And so, I'm just so appreciative of what Kurt and his team does.
100%. There's something special when you see that little kid's face and you show up with an Xbox, or you just show up to play air hockey, like some of these guys are saying. Like, it brings them so much joy.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, because I used to do that with law enforcement. Like,
Right.
we take kids for Christmas shopping. To see the look on their face, I felt selfish because it's like, I feel like I'm getting way more out of this than what they're getting out of this.
It's true. And I've been fortunate enough over the years through the NFL and things like that to be able to work with kids who are dealing with a lot. And not only the kids themselves, but the families.
The families.
When you see the mom and the dad, and I even gave some love to this kid's sister. She's a little girl, and to see their appreciation and you can see that love that comes out. And God, if I can give just a little bit and help, it's all worth it.
Oh, brother, it really is. Because like a lot of these, like Kurt was just saying, like some of these families, like they have to, like one person has to quit their job. They become the caretaker, and then now you cut your income in half. And the economy that we live in with some of these families, like it's hard for them to get by. So a foundation like Project Fire Buddies stepping in and kind of helping fill that void, but also giving hope to these kids.
Because not only are they granting wishes, they're helping with everyday things.
Yes.
We went to visit this kid yesterday, and they built a platform for him so that he could get in and out of his home, and just little practical things like that help make these families' lives just a little bit easier, so that they can kind of help deal with their with the sickness of these kids. And they don't just help the kids, like they help the brothers and sisters too. Not help, but like they provide them with a gift. Because like as a kid, when your child's sick, they probably get a lot of attention from the parents, so they probably feel left out. So absolutely,
when Project Fire Buddies comes in and they get you a gift, and then they get this guy a gift, and the whole these kids are getting gifts, like they're all included.
Well, and last night they gave just as many gifts to this kid's sister as they did the kid, and so I gave some love to her, because you're right, because that can be a real thing when the siblings feel sort of left out or sort of left behind or put on the back burner, and it's the family is affected, not just the kid, not just the parents, the whole family is affected.
So you've been to how many galas have you been to?
I was just thinking about that. I think it's my third or fourth. Yeah. And like I said, it's such a great night. They raise an amazing amount of money in one night. I was amazed, and it seems to be growing faster and faster. Kurt tells me every year how fast they sell out of this thing.
Yeah.
I told them they need to start filling up the whole room.
Fill it, brother.
Get rid of this fire truck and put more
tables. Let's go. Let's get it ripping.
And last night Kurt took me to their new headquarters, which he shared with me, and just the expansion that's happening is a blessing, because it's all positive stuff.
Right.
The more they grow, with Kurt and those guys in the lead, their mission is it's nothing but positivity.
Yeah.
There's no sort of angles at all with these guys.
No.
So keep that in mind if you're listening, man. Get in and join and freaking put your money in and help this organization. Project Fire Buddies is legit and always needs help. So yeah, it's just, it's my pleasure to be here. And like I said, if I could just give a little bit of added to the whole thing, it's my pleasure.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Well, we appreciate you.
Dude, thanks for having me on. I appreciate
it. I know you got a lot going on, so I'm not going to keep you.
It's all good, and I was happy to come on and just, again, share my experience and let people know that it's legit, and it's get involved, because it really helps.
Yeah, and you've seen it firsthand, like how it changes these kids' lives, how it changes these families' lives. I mean, it's, you heard it here first, you guys.
Right on.
All right, brother. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, man.
All right.
Thank you so much.